Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service, coming to you live from the great state of Texas, precisely here in Houston. It's always, ladies and gentlemen, a privilege to come to you, especially today when I do in regards to what is going on in Amazonia, talking about the southern Cameroons. I'd like to welcome all of you who are tuning in from Amazonia, Boya in particular, and of course, all of Ground Zero, what we call the Federal Republic of Amazonia, and of course, those of you joining from far away locations in the diaspora. Thank you for tuning in, and please go ahead, hit your share button, because we are going to have a very packed full edition of this program today. I got so many things to bring to you, and I hope that we populate the platform. Go ahead and populate the platform, hit your share button. Why? I welcome those of you joining from Europe, those of you joining from South America, from the Caribbean, of course, from North America, talking about the United States and Canada combined, and Asia, China, Singapore, the Middle East. Thank you for tuning in to ABS Africa Broadcasting Service. Again, tonight, we talked about the we talked about the attacks in Bamenda, the explosions in Boya, and of course, a very special presentation with on Dr. Simon Munzo. And I'm going to start with that tonight, with a very special, about a 40-minute presentation on Dr. Simon Munzo and his quest, his crusade to get us. When I say us, I am referring to Amazonians, Southern Cameroonians, remain as slaves of La République du Cameroon. I am bringing you a reporter which we got research on a recent statement issued out a few weeks ago by Dr. Munzo. I bet you're going to enjoy that. It's going to be illuminating as usual. So you stay put for that. I'm going to start with that tonight. But we'll be talking about the detention of Lady Antoinette, the lady who is supposedly former girlfriend to FM No Pity. We're going to be talking about that too. I will be joined for a very exclusive interview with Sikod Judson, who was supposed to be the accused, ladies and gentlemen, in the death of General Kommando. So I will be having Sikod Judson here for an exclusive interview on what led to the death of General Kommando. Was he killed, or indeed he died at the battlefield, as it has been said by so many? We will get to that. And of course, Bishop John Egiawan shall be joining me. We're going to be talking about the events in Bamenda last week, and also the coming Cup of Nations. Cup of Nations, we're going to be talking about that, and we hope that La République du Cameroon will get us plain and clear that Amazonians do not want that nonsense to take place in their territory. And we hope that the African nations participating in this jamboree, so-called, will take note and withdraw their teams and refuse participation in that tournament, especially in Amazonia. We did not plan for a nation cup with Africa. No, Amazonia did not. We're not going to be part of it. And so we hope that the message we go through, and in fact, in the coming days, I'm going to be bringing a very special presentation on this so-called Cup of Nations that La République du Cameroon has scheduled, ladies and gentlemen, for our territory in Amazonia. So please stay tuned. I am not going to take any much more time. I would like to bring you this special presentation right away. The special presentation, ladies and gentlemen, from on Dr. Munzo and the quest for federation in the damn country that they call La République du Cameroon. Federation? Never, never. Let me ask those of you watching and listening to me out there. Did it really have to take federation? I have asked this question again and again. Did it really have to take federation, ladies and gentlemen, for all these people to be killed, for all these homes to be burned? Did it have to take just federation? How long would it take people like Dr. Munzo to understand us? That when we say we have left Cameroon, indeed we have. What is it going to understand? Why is it so hard, like elite, like Dr. Munzo and the rest, to understand that we deserve our own country? What is it going to take them to discover that? Well, I won't take any much more of your time. Please go ahead, hit your share button right after this special presentation, which was previously recorded. I shall be back with my guests. We're going to be delving into the issues of the day. In fact, again, the arrest and the capture of this woman. Let me talk about a little bit about this woman, ladies and gentlemen. She is still in detention. She is still under detention. Lady Antoinette. Lady Antoinette, ladies and gentlemen, you have all seen these images. You have all seen these images of this lady, Lady Antoinette, arrested by this French Cameroon terrorist soldier called Munzo. This lady was picked up under the circumstances you find there, ladies and gentlemen. She was picked up under the circumstances that you find on your screen. Pregnant with a baby. Pregnant with a baby. And they took her to jail. And she delivered this baby. She delivered this baby. And this lady is still in jail. This lady, Lady Antoinette, is still in jail. I don't know in which country, ladies and gentlemen, that a woman is picked up. A woman is picked up and held incommunicado. She delivers behind bars, and she is kept behind bars with a young baby. She is picked up pregnant, as you find in this image. She has now since delivered behind bars. And she is still being kept, ladies and gentlemen. She is still being kept behind bars. Again, I don't know in which country something like this happens, that a woman pregnant is picked up, locked up behind bars. She has committed no crime other than that she knew, not that she knows, but that she knew somebody, ladies and gentlemen, and she's kept behind bars all this while. Until she delivers the baby behind bars, and she is still kept behind bars after delivery. The young baby is still being kept with the mother behind bars after delivery. Where does this happen? Somebody should tell me, what is the crime of this lady? Let's assume, ladies and gentlemen, that she was the girlfriend to FM No Pity. Let's just assume that for a moment. She was the girlfriend to FM No Pity. But she was not picked up in Bamenda. She was picked up in Boya, for God's sake. She was picked up in Boya, which means she was hundreds of kilometers, if not thousands away from No Pity. My mother was picked up in Yaoundé, and I was thousands of miles away in the USA. Field Marshal was hundreds, if not thousands of miles, kilometers away from Yaoundé. My mother was picked up and locked up with my sister behind those gulags. But they were released after. I know it was after, quite a while. By the way, they are still keeping the passport of my mother. They, like the Republic of Cameroon, they are still keeping the passport of my mother. But come to think about it, what has this poor lady got to do with a man who has chosen to fight for his own country? What has she got to do? And if she got anything to do with it, what has this poor baby, ladies and gentlemen, what has this poor baby got to do with the with no pity? What has she got to do? Of course, nothing. Nothing. She got nothing to do with it. And by the way, I really want to ask the so-called Prime Minister Dion Ngute, Mr. Prime Minister, sir, what is happening to your country that they will pick up an innocent woman like this one, pregnant? She delivers behind bars, and she's still kept behind bars. Mr. Prime Minister, sir, can you tell us that at least your country is a country that respects women's people's rights? What would you say is a crime? The crime of this woman with a child. What is her crime, Mr. Prime Minister? Mr. Prime Minister, can't you exercise some authority to demand, not ask, but demand that this woman be released from jail with immediate effect? What is her crime, Mr. Prime Minister? Or do you want to pay a blind eye and assume that we don't know that you know that an innocent woman picked up in Boya for an offense you assume committed in Bamenda is locked up in Boya, and she put to bed in Boya, and she's still behind bars with a baby? Mr. Prime Minister, remove shame, please, from your government. Release this woman, Lady Antoinette. She is an adult. In no pity, if they had any relationship, he's an adult. In no pity has the right to choose for himself what he does with his life. And by the way, it's a patriotic duty that no pity is performing out there for Amazonia. So please, Mr. Prime Minister, let's see that you have some leverage in that country where you preside as Prime Minister. Please demand for the immediate release of this woman. And let me tell you, I will stay on this story until this woman finds freedom. This must stop. You don't kill our people and lock them in jail just the way you do, with impunity. And I will repeat this, that please, Amazonia Restoration Forces in FACO, it is incumbent upon you to make sure no police post, no gendarme post, no prison yard survives in Boya, in Victoria, in Kumba, in Moyoka, of course in all of Amazonia. Every police post and every gendarme military post, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who are causing such pain upon our people. They should all come down. They should all come down, ladies and gentlemen. Now, having said that, I will now take you, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special presentation. This very special presentation on the Dr. Simon Munzo. Dr. Simon Munzo and his federalist movement trying to take us back to La République du Cameroun to forever, I guess, remain French Cameroon slaves. We say no. We say no to Dr. Munzo. Stay tuned again. This was previously recorded. Stay tuned. I will be right back after this. Dr. Simon Munzo's federalism is the wrong medication for the wrong diagnosis. Today's presentation is a rebuttal to Dr. Munzo's latest provocation on Ambazonia's struggle for the right to self-determination. On November 21, 2021, Dr. Munzo, who is no stranger to controversies regarding this struggle, posted a very provocative statement through a social media platform known as Pan-African Visions. In the statement, he announced the formation of what he calls Cameroon Coalition of Federalist Group and Activists. Cameroon Coalition of Federalist Groups and Activists. Dr. Munzo listed the leaders of the group and then outlined what the group stands for. Before extracting some themes from the communique and providing you the rebuttal, let me read out the names of the 9 leaders of Dr. Munzo's group. Of course, he is the chairman. Number 2, Victor Wainge, the rapporteur. Atemkung Peter, Benjamin Aki, Fabrice Lena, Gabila Nubong, Kingsley Newu, Michael Taki, and Indifo Richard. These are the obstructionists, I call them. The team that wants to place Ambazonia as a political sacrificial lamb on the annexationist altar of La République du Cameroon. To them, the overwhelming independent loving Ambazonians vehemently say no, and I mean zero. Let us now look at some themes from Dr. Munzo's statement. The themes will be exact quotes from the communique. I will read them out and then offer you the rebuttal. Quote number 1, Dr. Simon writes, "We believe that this system honors the historical, constitutional, and temporary character of our country and can best respond to the individual and collective aspirations of Cameroonians, assure equal development of all regions," and end of quote. The first critic of this quote is the phrase, and again, and I quote, we believe that this system honors, according to Dr. Munzo. We woo Dr. Munzo. Let's note here that, apart from Dr. Munzo, the other members of his ring only surfaced recently. Nobody knew of them until they were listed in the statement. Since they were not selected or elected by Ambazonians, on whose behalf would they be speaking? In fact, none of the members, including Dr. Munzo himself, are known to be advocates of anything that benefits even their local native communities in Ambazonia. They are not a recognized activist group or so. So, when he says, and I quote, we, it is very unclear who they represent. The second critique of this quote is the misguided phrase, and again, and I quote, collective aspirations of Cameroonians. End of quote. What does Munzo consider to be the collective aspirations? There are 4 distinct geopolitical entities involved. The Beti-dominated entity, the Nordis and the Bamilekis, who collectively form La République du Cameroon, which obtained its independence on January 1, 1960, when Southern Cameroon was still a trust territory. And there is Ambazonia, of course, which obtained its independence on October 1, 1961. Ahidjo and other La République du Cameroon dignitaries attended Independence Day celebrations, ladies and gentlemen, in Boya. It is therefore no secret that the Betis aspire and intend to retain power after Paul Biya. They have saturated the military and security apparatus with Betis and set up factions that are poised to take over no matter what. Ferdinand Ngoingo is the acting president right now. He leads a Betis faction that operates out of Etude Palace. Frank Biya leads another faction that operates out of Vomeka. We have already seen him make quasi-presidential visits to the new Sultan of Fumban, Nabil Mbombo Njoya. For the Northeast, we have seen Abubakar Osman May declare several times on television, talk shows, including Equinox Television and Canal 2, that after Paul Biya, there shall be a bloodbath if power does not go back to the North. We have seen the declaration that Ebameleki shall never be allowed to become president of La République du Cameroon, and humiliating actions against Bamelekis and their son, Maurice Kamto, are testament to that stance. Of course, it is not a secret that an Ambazonian can never, and I mean never, hold key positions in La République du Cameroon, let alone become president. The aspiration of Ambazonians is totally different, ladies and gentlemen. There is overwhelming evidence that Ambazonians want to regain their statehood, and that evidence has been displayed in results of independent surveys, including the one that led Cardinal Tumi's group conducted. In fact, on September 22, 2017, Ambazonians came out massively to manifest their irrevocable support for their absolute right to self-determination, and came out massively again on October 1, 2017 to celebrate Independence Day, and have been celebrating Independence Day every year ever since. It is a fraud for Dr. Munzo, therefore, to think that there is popular belief that there is a collective aspiration in what he referred to as Cameroon. The third critique of this quote is the phrase, and I quote, "assure equal development of all regions," and end of quote. This is stunning. Ambazonians have stated outright that they will not allow any type of activity and involvement of La République du Cameroon in Ambazonia. They recently tried reconstruction in Bamenda, and it didn't work. And we are all aware of that. Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, want to be the ones deciding their own development projects, and only after they get to Boya. Also, Ambazonians have voiced their absolute distaste for the primitive style projects undertaken in that damn country called La République du Cameroon, and have rejected the so-called reconstruction project that was placed under Paul Tasson. What makes Dr. Munzo and his group think that out of a sudden that La République du Cameroon will be interested in the development of Ambazonia? What makes him think so? Are the impostors not aware of the systematic destruction that the Yaoundé regimes, beginning with that of Ahijo and now Paul Biya, have inflicted in Ambazonia. For example, the total destruction of West Cameroon Marketing Board is still fresh in mind. The West Cameroon Ban, Victoria Seaport and Tico Wharf, Airport in Tico, in Nguti, in Bali, Bisongabang, Wum, and Akwaya. What about the Yoke Hydroelectric Dam, Power Camp, PWD, Induti, Santa Coffee Estate, the CDC, PAMO, Indobrise, Womb Area Development Authority, Tingo Rice in Bafut, Cadbury and Free Cocoa Processing Factory, Ikiliwindi, Kumba, Cameroon Industrial Forest, Kumba, and Moyoka. What happened to all of them? They destroyed them. These were booming institutions in the southern Cameroons, but were either taken over and wrecked or closed down by La République du Cameroon's successive despotic regimes. The fourth critique of this quote, ladies and gentlemen, relates to funding for the so-called Equal Development Project that is quoted by Dr. Munzo's statement. Is Munzo and his gang not aware of La République du Cameroon's heavy indebtedness? The impoverished nation owes China over 750 billion CFA francs. All of the multilateral loans and grants from its imperialist friends have been embezzled, mostly by the Betty Big Six. Just of recent, a whopping 184 billion francs of COVID-19 funds provided as a loan by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, was embezzled, and no one has been held accountable. Massive loans obtained for the construction of stadia and related projects were also embezzled. Funds borrowed for road construction were embezzled also. La République du Cameroon's resources have been largely depleted. Its forest land given out to China, an offshore oil drilling right mortgaged to foreign companies for 99 years period of performance. 99 years. Dr. Munzo and his team really hate Ambazonia so much, to the point that they want to see it remain choked by La République du Cameroon's blunders and through a fake federal system of government. Quote number 2, and he says, "We are committed to establishing in Cameroon the federal republic that is designed, he says, to respond effectively to the needs and aspirations of citizens, and is characterized principally by harmonious management of our dual colonial heritage," referring to judicious distribution of power, he says, and allocation of resources between the federal, state, and local governments. End of quote. This one is easier to be laughed at, isn't it? La République du Cameroon had a chance, ladies and gentlemen, to listen to Ambazonians and forge a genuine solution to the problem when they convened their so-called Grand National Dialogue in 2019. Instead, they resorted to their old dirty tricks. They went solo, picked the location of the dialogue, set the agenda, named the commissions that will hold discussions, and selected the people who will lead the commissions as well as those who will participate in each commission. Guess who was handpicked by the monstrous Yaoundé regime to lead one of the commissions, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Simon Munzo. He was one of the leaders of the commissions. He was not voted by the people of Nguti, which is his native hometown, his own community. So, whose interest was he defending or representing? Dr. Munzu was handpicked to chair Commission number 5, charged, ladies and gentlemen, with discussions on the reconstruction and development of crisis-affected regions. Can you assure us what has been the outcome of the discussions and resolutions that came out of his own chaired commission? Just of recent, the Republic du Cameroon's emasculated Prime Minister John Ngute stated that the Yaoundé regime is looking for sponsors to come up with 80 billion CFA francs for the reconstruction of their so-called Anglophone region. John Ngute's statement came about a week after Paul Tassong declared that he was very pleased, very pleased with the pace at which reconstruction projects were progressing, even though, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, even though the regime was still looking for money to fund the programs. Also, John Ngute stated that the regime was looking for funding for reconstruction projects in the Anglophone regions after stating several times that, and I quote, "We in the Southwest do not have any problems," end of quote. Looking for funding for problems that do not exist? Why did Simon Munzo not challenge John Ngute's blatant lie? These impostors, ladies and gentlemen, have run out of falsehood to the point that they are now contradicting themselves and each other. Now, quote number 3. Both warring parties, Munzo says, referring to government forces and separatist fighters, as he put them, have been accused of committing atrocities, end of quote. Dr. Munzo has it all wrong. Paul Boya is the one who declared war on Ambazonia precisely on November 30th, 2017 and in January 2018. He deployed Betty-dominated soldiers, 6-week trained thugs, picked from the streets of Betty land and sent into Ambazonia. Ever since then, they have been carrying out acts of barbarism, genocidal killings, and massive destruction of property in our territory. In fact, the latest episode was only a few days ago, precisely on Wednesday, December 8, 2021, along the Mbengwi Road in Bamenda. Terrorist soldiers went on a rampage, burning down homes and shops, and killed 5 people. They only spared a pastor and his son because, according to them, the pastor spoke eloquent, listen to me, eloquent French. Dr. Munzo and his team are yet to make a comment about this. There have been cases of massacres, ladies and gentlemen, and many more would have been carried out, but for Ambazonia restoration forces that are now protecting their local communities. Dr. Munzo's label of Ambazonia restoration forces as separatist fighters create the falsehood that Ambazonia is actually separating. Separating from what, sir? We just want to regain our statehood that was granted on October 1, 1961. If, on the contrary, Simon Munzo has any legally binding documents which certify a union between the two countries, he should show them to the world to see. By the way, war was declared on us, and following international law, we have the right, and Bazonia has the right to defend itself. Terrorist La République du Cameroon soldiers are the 21 soldiers, ladies and gentlemen, are marauding our communities and killing our people, particularly helpless women and children. This is what we call atrocities and gross human rights abuses. If Simon Munzo has evidence of cases where Ambazonia Restoration Forces crossed into La République du Cameroon and carried out such acts of barbarism, he should present the evidence to the rest of the world. Please be mindful that Atanganjipo, Amba Boys, are not Ambazonia Restoration Forces. Now I give you quote number 4, and Munzo writes, all Cameroonians, especially those of the northwest and southwest, he says, at home and abroad, should engage and actively participate in the collective endeavor to re-establish a federal system of governance in Cameroon. End of quote. The first critique of this quote is the phrase, and I quote again, all Cameroonians. If all Cameroonians, ladies and gentlemen, includes Bertise, Simon Munzo should explain what the motivation will be for Bertise, who now enjoy special privileges in their country, to suddenly agree to a genuine federal system that will not benefit them at all. Bertise saturate the government, the military, and public corporations. They are at La République du Cameroon embassies in lucrative western capital cities. The bank accounts of Sonora and National Hydrocarbon are in France and managed by Bertise, appointed and stationed at their embassy in Paris. Why would they ever agree to give up such largesse in the name of federalism? The second critique of this quote is the phrase, and again I quote, collective endeavor to re-establish a federal system of government in Cameroon, according to Dr. Simon Munzo. Note that Dr. Munzo said re-establish a federal system of governance, not the federal system of governance. The use of a and they matters. Establish a federal system of governance means it is a new system. It did not exist before. You cannot re-establish a system that never existed. Re-establish the federal system of governance means the system existed before. It was changed. You re-establish the system that was once in existence. The misleading use of words is political chicanery. Let us even pretend that what Dr. Munzo means is the gentleman agreement that existed between the Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroon before 1972. How will that agreement be re-established given the current level of annexation and assimilation, ladies and gentlemen, of Ambazonia by La République du Cameroon and heavy French influence? How is that going to happen? Actually, it is because of resources in Ambazonia that La République du Cameroon has been able able to maintain the payment of its reverse colonial indemnity to France. Will the new federalism exempt Ambazonia from being party to the payment of the reverse colonial indemnity? Did Dr. Munzo think of these nuanced details? By the way, what is wrong? What is wrong with Ambazonia just regaining its statehood, Dr. Munzo? Quote number 5, he says, whoever and wherever you are, exercise your right as a citizen to demand the amendment of a provision of the Constitution that is bad for our country. You just want the words. The Republic of Cameroon shall be a decentralized unitary state. End of quote from Dr. Munzo. He says to be replaced, again quote, by Cameroon shall be a federal state, end of quote there, in Article 1, Section 2 of the Cameroon Constitution. Again, that quote is coming from Dr. Munzo. Now, this is a critique of this quote and of the phrase, exercise your right as a citizen. Dr. Munzo forgets that La République du Cameroon is a ruthless, ethno-fascist, totalitarian state where citizens do not have rights. Dr. Munzo is not aware that Ambazonians do not have any rights, ladies and gentlemen, and Ambazonian natives who present themselves as elected officials are considered traitors and impostors who do not protect the rights of their people. If we Ambazonians have rights as citizens, what explanation can Dr. Munzo provide regarding the ongoing genocide and massive destruction of property in Ambazonia? The second critique of this quote is the phrase, and I quote, demand the amendment of a provision of the Constitution. Demand the amendment of a provision of the Constitution, end of quote. Dictionary.com defines demand as, and I quote, an insistent and preemptory request. Preemptory means immediate attention. Is that feasible under the monstrous regime in Yaoundé? Can one or a group insist that a colonial DO or governor act immediately on a politically motivated request? Is that not what our lawyers did in 2016 and were severely brutalized? Is Dr. Munzo claiming that as a lawyer, he does not know that the terrorism law in La République du Cameroon does not allow citizens to demand, say, or do anything that is not supportive of the Yaoundé regime? Again, and by the way, how can the demand be made, sir? If you ask for a permit to hold a meeting, even at a private residence, the request will be rejected in that country. Just go and ask Maurice Kamto. You ask for a permit to hold a rally, it will be rejected. If you defiantly hold a rally, you and the other participants will either be shot and killed on the spot by the BIRO or arrested and charged with inciting violence and rebellion against the head of state or against the state and taken to Kondenge. And your family may not be spared either. That is what happened to Mancho BBC and thousands of Ambazonians who are now languishing in jails across La République du Cameroon. Mancho BBC only asks, listen to me, only asks, ladies and gentlemen, for improvement in living conditions in Bamenda, but was arrested and charged with terrorism. He is now at Kondenge. Go to Bamenda today and see the state of dilapidation, which was the basis for Mancho BBC's complaint. Terrorist La République du Cameroon soldiers are constantly breaking into homes and arresting Ambazonians and taking them to unknown destinations, even when they are not demanding for anything. Will they be spared if they start making demands? Again, is Dr. Munzo claiming that he is not aware that even opposition party members in La République du Cameroon's legislature cannot table any bill, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot table any bill. They cannot propose any changes to the constitution and are not allowed to hold rallies. On 2 occasions, Maurice Kamto and 7 other so-called opposition party leaders, including Joshua Osi of the SDF, gathered at private venues to discuss changes. And each time, they have been humiliatingly disposed by security officials in that country. Just a week ago, Maurice Kamto was sequestered at a hotel in Douala for 2 days, when he was about to launch his book, and was later escorted out of Douala to Yaoundé, where he has since been held under an unofficial house arrest. If opposition party members, ladies and gentlemen, in La République du Cameroon's legislature cannot gather at a private venue to discuss changes in the electoral code of that country, how and where can an Ambazonian go to place a demand for amending the constitution? In fact, native Ambazonians who are lawyers living in Yaoundé have been severely beaten on the streets in broad daylight by security officials just because they are defending Ambazonians held in prisons, including the Kondege Gulag in Yaoundé. But the third critique of this quote from Dr. Simon Munzo, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with the pretense that for some reason, the totalitarian Yaoundé regime respects the constitution of the primitive nation. Article 66 of the Constitution of La République du Cameroon requires members of government, cabinet members, starting with the president, his cabinet, and high-ranking political appointees to declare their assets. Has there been any such declaration, Dr. Munzo? Has there ever been any? Is Dr. Munzo claiming that he is not aware of Article 66 and is defiant by the Yaoundé regime? Of course, he is well aware. He is making statements that are not feasible. Dr. Munzo is a seasoned manipulator and agent provocateur. Ladies and gentlemen, I started this presentation stating that Dr. Munzo's proposed federalism is the wrong medication for the wrong diagnosis. Now, I want to end it by letting Dr. Simon Munzo and his coalition for federalism to know that, 1, our problem, the Ambazonian issue on hand, is not the system, the form of governance in La République du Cameroon. No, it is not. Not at all. Ambazonia's problem is total and unconditional reinstatement of its independence that was granted on October 1, 1961. Number 2, Federalism is not practiced in any of France's former colonies in Africa. None of the former colonies, including La République du Cameroun, has extricated itself from the 1958 pre-independent agreements that were signed by their pioneer presidents and France under Charles de Gaulle. France considers its former colonies in Africa as overseas provinces. In fact, after the so-called Grand National Dialogue, Paul Biya did not make any public statements in his own country. Instead, he went to France to render an account to French President Macron. Is Dr. Munzo not aware of this? Does Dr. Munzo think that France will allow genuine federalism in La République du Cameroun, even if Ambazona was gone, which will threaten its imperialist interests and also serve as a devastating example to other Francophone countries in Africa? Of course, that is not possible. What Dr. Munzo is doing, ladies and gentlemen, is tantamount to a dentist telling a patient who has severe toothache to wrap their ankle with bandage. The diagnosis is not ankle sprain. It is toothache. And wrapping the ankle with bandage will not stop a toothache. Of course not. Wrong diagnosis. Wrong medication. Ambazonians, as we keep moving towards Boya, and La République du Cameroun continues to see the handwriting on the wall, more and more, Dr. Munzo will be coming up with fake versions of the solution to the Ambazonian conflict. Rest assured, however, that what they shall be proposing shall have absolutely nothing to do with our desire to regain our sovereignty, our statehood, our independence. Dr. Simon Munzo is one of the impostors who participated in the discredited and non-consequential Grand National Dialogue in Yaoundé. Again, Dr. Munzo shamelessly chaired one of the commissions during that Grand National Dialogue. But today, he cannot show us the outcome of what was agreed. Dr. Munzo must never, ladies and gentlemen, be trusted. He is not alone. There are several others out there. That is why we must stay vigilant and be ready to provide a robust rebuttal each time that they come up with fake proposals. We know what we want: statehood or resistance forever. God bless you all. God bless Ambazonia. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying put out there. I want to believe that this presentation has been an educative moment and illumination to you. So please, I want to believe that every time one of these so-called elites come out and put out a statement such as Dr. Munzo put out there advertising one so-called coalition for federalists, that it is our duty It is our duty to step out and educate Ambazonians what exactly that we need. The reason why we are not for anything called federation, confederation, or anything one and indivisible Cameroon. We want to believe that Dr. Simon Munzo would listen to us and take sides with us and fight, because I do not know, I do not see why the crusade for a free and independent Ambazonia should be such an affront to Dr. Munzo and Nick Williams of the Southern Cameroon. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was the special presentation linking Dr. Munzo. I will be joined later in this broadcast with Bishop John Egiawan. I am hoping that he connects right away to be on the show. But right now, I will be taking you for a very exclusive, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive interview with Sikod Judson. Sikod Judson, as you all know, has been mentioned recently in the death, or call it the killing, of General Kommando. The death or the killing of General Kommando, the man in white you find on your screen. Right after he was killed, rumor, allegations went on wide on the social media that Sikod Judson was responsible for the death of General Kommando. Some have said he did not die at the battlefront. Some have said he died. It was a coup, it was a plot that was set up to kill him. And I think there is some legitimacy to these allegations because, again, nobody has seen any photographs emerging from that battlefield where General Kommando was said to have been killed. No images, no videos, nothing other than the images showing us his passing, the corpse. We have not seen any other thing else to suggest that he actually died at a battlefield. So, Judson Sikod is here to let us know his involvement in the TTA in general and General Kommando, the late General Kommando in particular. Did Sikod Judson kill General Kommando? Ladies and gentlemen, is a question among others he will be answering here. Comrade Sikod, it's a pleasure to have you here at ABS, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chris Arnold. Thank you for your direct question. And let me say, the accusation and these accusations that are out there. But before I respond to that, let me say that I want to pray God for the grace to talk to the people of Ambazonia, and let the people of Ambazonia be the judge. And above all, God, in whose name I stand here today, is the judge. He has the final say. There's nobody who is above him. And so if judgment be for God, I do not come here to clear my name. I do not come here to tell people that I didn't kill Kommando or I killed Kommando. I came here first as respect to your person for this invitation. I came here secondly as a sign of a comradeship, if I can put it in that way, for a comrade to have invited me over this program. I took it as a privilege to respect your invitation, because I think it is a turning point in Ambazonia that the ABS TV can become that TV that can be open to every Ambazonian who stands for the total liberation of Ambazonia, irrespective of groups or their affiliations. So this one is a good sign. And I believe that you as an institution, because Mr. Chris Arnold himself is in the IG as an institution, but you yourself is an institution. I believe you will use your might to sanitize this revolution. Now, back to the question
All
you
right.
asked.
Please, comrade, if you can hold on there, I'd like to play a short clip coming from the late General Kommando, and after that, we will get into the questions. Stay put, please.
The third Sikod. I mean the King Kommando, the king of Momo. No more, no day again. I mean I dey for Momo, and I know only remain for Momo. I go there for the whole Amazonia because waiting. I know my power where I get them. Spiritual power, physical power, everything I get them. I take Sikod say, you know say. Mean King Kommando, I don't think say that's where that boy is doing today. When me I say I'm explosive, I say I did destroy that thing, and that thing I need 10 of that very thing. 10 of that very thing I need them, but I give in 1 week. I could do something where the whole Amazon I no ever expect them. I need to them up. People they go on social media they talk, the social media na so they go talk in here. But I wanna say me military confirm say this will happen. Me military confirm say this will happen. No be me I go talk am, but I go want say me military confirm am. Now maybe King Kommando, no shaking, no day. 4 in 1. I be the rest now because say bullet no be there, bullet don't enter. So bullet don't enter, bullet don't enter. Now why I be the rest because of
King
bullet.
Kommando live.
Yeah, so I mean the king of Momo, the king of Momo the talk. I say bullet no. I be the rest now because say bullet no be there, bullet don't enter. So bullet don't enter, bullet don't enter. Now why I be the rest because of
King
bullet.
Kommando live.
Yeah, so I mean the king of Momo, the king of Momo the talk. I say bullet no. I be the rest now because say bullet no be there.
All right, comrade, you listen to the late Kommando there. You will agree with me that his death was quite a surprise to, I would say, most, the overwhelming majority of Ambazonians, if not all, out there, because this is a guy who had not been really that much into battles, but one that they went for, he came home as a corpse. Now, Field Marshal, the king, put out an an audio that came out, I guess it came from Commando's camp, was put out in which Field Marshal, the king, is heard communicating, advising Kommando on how to go about working with the interim government. And Kommando actually quoted you as the one person who has supported him and worked with him and supplied him. And so it is not strange when you hear people say, Sikod Judson knows why Kommando died or killed Kommando. Can you tell us, let's take it back a little bit. We're going to take it in a very systematic way. Take us back. For how long before his death had you been working with Kommando?
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Chris. In fact, I have worked with Kommando as long as possible. Now, let me tell you that the first person that was in charge of Momo before the coming of county by county was Celestine, who joined, whom after all this county by county and the division, where the faction of Mr. Siseko went apart, he had to leave the scene. But before he left the scene, he was the first person who introduced me to these boys. I started talking with all of them. Kommando, Commander Tiger, with Cinnamon of Basin, and all the camps, including Captain Savior, who works with the interim government presidency. Oftentimes, these boys have not had enough materials. In Mugamo, I am the first activist to have come from Momo. So, in fact, I am the most exposed Ambazonian from this region of Momo. I was the first to get out with my face out here and became an activist a long time even before the Ochibans came in. And so I was talking with them. Now, when these people do not have materials to eat, they call me and give me complaints. I have worked with the government of the LGA of Mr. Fonga, who was the first chairman under the interim government that he served. Now, I work with him, I work with his defense team informally. And the times that they have invited me into their forums because of my know-how and particularly for some technical advice. And I have also been contacted even by this Mr. Ghana in several occasions for advice, which I've often given with the best of my ability. But let me let you know that it's not the first time a fighter had died in battle. The first time people died that due to our own cause was when 13 people were killed by the ADF. Sikod was not directly in charge. But because of the trust that Kommando had in me, when he heard that there was an attack, he rushed to the network and called me to coordinate the boys on the field. That is why I had the boys on basic saved that all did not die on that. It was, why did they die? They had over 11 sticks with them. Let me call it vehemently. They had over 11 sticks and all type of materials. But in all those ones, they had no groundnut. I don't know. I should have called it straight. They had no cartridge in those ones. Yet they were living from a different camp and going towards basic, where they supported the ADF and they were killed. The second time that these boys were killed was when the commander of Munzo, who is called Rest in Peace, died under an attack by the ADF. I remember I called you, Mr. Kommando, together with the younger brother of Iringwa, Henry, and it was late night with you. And you told us that when you wake up, you will get back to us. Before you came back to us, someone had died. Why was I the one calling you? Because Kommando called that these boys are under attack. Can you orientate them? And that is how I oriented them and made a lot of them to withdraw. They had no groundnut. The groundnut that they had was the boy who died, who rushed to a particular place which was coordinated by me, and then we contributed money with Mr. Fongang, who was a former chairman, to pay that groundnut later to withstand. Bling was there on the field, and that is how those boys were saved. But because Rest in Peace didn't get instructions, he went ahead and he was ambushed and killed. So it wasn't the first time people died because of no groundnut. Now, I want to let you know, on this video you are watching now, Kommando said he didn't have groundnut before. And so now groundnut has come. And that is why I am on the field now. So contrary to what you said, yeah, you wanted to ask something.
Yes, if I may ask, you were supplying Kommando groundnuts and equipment as under which group? The interim government, or what under? I mean, or were they serving you? Under what capacity were you supplying them?
Let me let you know something. I don't serve any group. I serve Ambazonia. I have repeatedly said I would always want to keep Ambazonia first and not any group. I have interviewed you before. I have interviewed Dr. Sako before. I have spoken with other activists and gone to other forums. I've spoken with Dr. Ayaba. You have seen, because I try to centralize myself as an Ambazonia. But when there are issues, there are people in the interim government that trust my person. That when I rush to them behind the scenes and tell them that these boys are begging for this, I give them the audios and they prove that these boys love these things and the interim government doesn't have it, they will supply. Number two, there were times that the LGA of Batibo had crisis. Some people resigned, Mr. Fongang resigned, and there was a provisionary government of the LGA. They could not sign money. All the boys had no material. I have always stepped in to make sure they have material. I would beg money. All people. And there are people who even call me without me calling them and say they know what I'm doing. How can we help these boys? That is the task. And I'm talking before God and man. There is nobody that consents, that has the consent for these boys as I do. Because I know defense is a relationship. I have the type of relationship with these boys that
So
you cannot imagine.
are you saying that you were out of pocket just helping these guys as an Ambazonian and not representing any group?
I'm helping them as an Ambazonian. Let me let you know that the first research on popcorn production, so the first popcorn that was ever used in this Amazonia was researched by me, and it was produced there in Basic by Captain Cinnamon using some other people. I have gone now to develop that level such that we can use it, because the whole of Baltimore, the whole of Bamenda, and so on is tarred. So using popcorn to bury on the ground is difficult. So we need to research something that can be kept by the roadside, which is more deadly than you can imagine. That can even go 100 meters away. And Kommando is the only person who gave me that avenue to bring in that engineer from abroad to train the boy. There are videos of the boys that were there in training. Some came from Boya, some came from Dongamantu to receive this training. Now, if you close every border and we cannot receive any material from outside, our boys can produce popcorn, even using leaves from plantains, using and think only using salt. And I just want to quote it in a type of a way.
So let's end a little bit there, if I may ask. Before his passing, how long you spoke with him? I mean, before his passing.
Before his passing, I did not speak to him for about 2 weeks. Before his passing.
Okay, you didn't speak to him before, I mean, for about 2 weeks. Were you aware of the supposed mission at which he was killed?
Okay, let me say that mission, I knew there was supposed to be a mission, but I didn't know where they were supposed to go to the mission, where they were going, and when. But I supplied every material they needed. I have voice messages and he sent audios to me that I should show other commanders that he has a mission. Please give me materials and let me go and harvest materials and bring to you. I'm going to take a camp. Now, let me tell you that it was not the only time he went out for a mission. He went out first. Let me give you a specific date. On the 19th of October 2021, there was a group that went out and claimed that they attacked a military barrack in Gi. And they came back with a Kalash. That was 19th of October. And they said they were...
Was that group different from Commandos?
It was different from Kommando. It was led by Tornado. And they claimed that they worked together with the camp of Busan. Now, what is my interest in this? There was no attack in that military barrack in Gi. Hear what I'm saying? They did not attack this barrack.
You are referring to the attack, which images we saw with one truck, military truck abandoned on the roadside, and we saw the restoration fighters shouting and getting excited for...
Yes, that is their second staged video. Those ammo cars were parked because they were spoiled, they were bad. There was no...
So you are saying that that incident was staged?
It was staged. The military was not there.
Who staged it though?
I am telling you that there are people there inside the interim government, inside the LGA, that promised those boys 100 euros, and it was led by Kommando.
Sorry, they promised 100 euro to who?
100 euros, I mean 100,000 francs each to either of those boys.
Okay.
Now you did that staging. The second thing that I want to let you know, if you have that video where those boys are very clean and they showed one Kalash, if you don't mind, I can take my phone and take it here, and I will show you it. That gun was bought by the LGA for the boys in Busan. They gave it to these boys under Tornado working for Momo and asked, and they went and said that they had attacked that military barrack and came back with a kalash. They were clean and nothing happened. Then let me let you know something. That video was staged because on the 23rd, Kommando had planned, that is the boy, that is the video. Kommando had planned a capture of this camp, this same barrack, on the 23rd, which was a Saturday. I was aware of that mission, that we were supposed to go there. Now, what we have suspected is that there is an infiltration inside Kommando's camp. And because they knew the particular target, these boys went before him and staged a video that they had attacked. Look at their dressing, look at their clothes, look at everything. Nobody there came out from an attack, and nothing happened to that barrack. Secondly, when that one happened, Kommando could not go for that project on the 23rd. Now he changed and went to the ammo car attack on the road.
Comrade, if the ammo car attack was staged, how come the ammo car was there though? Because I know the military will not abandon their truck by the roadside and go away.
Mr. Chris, I know you need to know where Ngi on Jikwa is. The place is as rugged as you can ever imagine. The roads are extremely so bad that to take a car from there or tow a vehicle from there is one of the most difficult things you can ever imagine. If you watch that video, I want to urge everyone watching me to go and watch that video again. But I want to, my point is, that particular one where they showed the gun that they harvested, how did they know Kommando was supposed to have an attack? Then they went there and claimed to have staged. Now there was an infiltration. Number two, there was supposed to be, they went to attack on the road. I mean, Kommando himself, whom you saw him saying that I have gone with Akumaka, which is the new product, one of the new products. I have taken it to the road because General have come. They did that mission at night, attacked and destroyed the ammo car. And on the following morning, a video also came out from the same boys in Busan who were stationed somewhere and filming what they did. You must have heard that the two groups were fighting over credit for that job. Now, the fear is, why should there be a defense group inside the bush targeting the military, and there is another one just nearby inside the bush targeting the same military, and the same video is being sent out? Two videos are sent out from the same attack. There is a problem somewhere.
All right, let's not get to that particular problem. Let's do this. There are those who are asking, if you were indeed getting this money from your own personal pocket to finance Kommando and the entire TT Terminators, I mean, you know that it's not a cheap thing to do. That is a lot of money to supply a camp, to take care of a camp. And the question would be, where were you getting your money?
Okay, before I tell you where I get money, it's also the boys. The first thing is that I remember all these narrations do not interest me. I do not want to paint anybody black here. When there was an issue inside the interim government, Sikod has never spoken about it. The issue that made you leave the ABC, I've never written or spoken about it, because I believe that every institution has their problems and it will be solved. I believe that every institution should be preserved. The interim government must be preserved in as much as we want to achieve independence. Any other group must be preserved in as much as we must receive independence. Because if you weaken it, you weaken the structure. So, I am not here to fight. But I want to say that for the monetary part, the interim government, 1 and 2, the autopsy, and any other group that people know in front here are not the only people who finance this struggle. There are a lot of people behind the scenes that finance the struggle, much more than you can believe. There are groups of Ground Zero that are sponsored even by Ground Zero that most of you know. There are credits that have been taken by groups in diaspora or frontline movement that were not actually done by them. But those groups will never come out to disprove because they want to remain invisible. Now, there are people in movement that are so interested in having the voice protected. There are people interested in financing them and giving them food. There are institutions that are humanitarian organizations that call me and ask me how they can get food to those boys, and I will direct them. There are some that are given in consonance with the administration of the LG. Not one, not twice. Now, I had never taken the group formally until when Kommando declared by himself that I'm no longer working under the interim government because they abandoned me for long. Now, it took more than 1 month. The government didn't solve that problem. I came live on my Facebook and I announced to Ambazonians that bear me testimony that I do not have interest to take control of this city. I will be doing it temporarily, waiting for the interim government to solve their problems with General Kommando, Captain Cinnamon, and all the camps that they had abandoned. I said that. Now, they didn't do anything to solve this problem apart from sabotage. Now, there are other places I've gone in for money. For example, I went in to Mr. Yerima, that Kommando has not been giving materials for long. And it was over $2,000 without asking them to write a letter to them. That is the group of they
So how
donated
many
over
times
2,000.
did Mr. Yerima support Kommando?
He has supported about 3 times without having to come out to say it. I have gone to the International Town Hall, which has supported over $800. I've had individuals that have gathered and supported. There is a very vibrant Mugamo group that have struggled to unite with the LGA, and the LGA refused. I don't need to call their name here, but they are very, very organized. And I am working as their contact person. Remember, there was active Mugamo Europe, which was running a long time, and I was like their own defense representative. We bought the generators that Kommando had. We had bought over 4 different things that they do for Kommando, for other articles, and including feeding them. They do that through me. But I was the one who negotiated with the Restoration Council of Mugamo that we should go off. We should close active Mugamo, and so that everybody in Europe should join the LGA as a full group. That is coordinated with every other person, and Patetu became the vice chairman, and Waba became the defense from Europe, so that we all work like one LGA. So that
So I get that point. I get that point. Let's get back to the issue of you soliciting for support from different groups. I am aware that not just the interim government, but also Mogamo, and I guess Momo too, also put some money in your hands for particular projects, but they have since been so disgruntled that you never carried out those projects, and they also say that you used it to then take control of Kommando action to the extent that Kommando would not relate with the LGA. What can you say about that?
How much have the LGA given me before?
I know of at least $8,000 that
good. You are very
That is what I know.
Thank
Others
you.
I don't know.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, let me ask you, that was when I started the project of the research for the popcorns, the first ever we started. Those popcorns were all distributed all over. Even Joshua Carr received popcorns and Fombat that went to the southern zone. I sent some to Murphy. But let us leave about that.
When the ADF attacked
Can I
and
finish
killed,
with this point that you asked before you come in?
it's related. That's why I'm stopping you to ask.
Okay.
When the ADF attacked and killed civilians in Batibo, I think it was in Guzan, they've done that a number of times.
Yeah.
I am aware that the LGA, Mogamo LGA, put money in your hands with which to fortify the Terminators so they could then stand up against the aggression of the ADF. They have said you have never accounted for those funds. So are these part of the funds you are referring to here?
That is false. The LGA or the interim government had never given me money to fight the ADF. Those funds were all given to Henry Mbako, who is the younger brother to Irengwa. He was the one who coordinates everything that concerns fighting the ADF. When it comes to the money that I have received from the interim government, which was a branch of it, it was all destroyed by Madam Irengwa. First, that project was supposed to be in Bamenda. It was supposed to bring down some structures in Bamenda. It was ongoing.
How was that going to help, though, if it was meant for structures in Bamenda? How was that going to help get rid of the ADF in Batibo?
It is not related to fighting the ADF.
Okay.
It is not related. I said any monies that have ever been received to fight the ADF are only from Henry and Danny. It has never come to me. I had a specific project to carry out, and I bought every materials from drilling machines to the sticks, to the groundnut, to these hand grenades and everything. There are projects that I succeeded across the Mongo inside that fund, but I will not say it. It is classified till we are free. But look at the hindrance. The project, the money was given over 4 months period, which over small bits, and so it became difficult. Number two, I had to build that project around Nambere. Nambere was still working with us. The same person who went behind the scenes and told Nambere not to communicate with me was the same Irengwa. And you could hear Dr. Sikod speaking with Nambere, and Nambere telling him that, yes, Madam Irengwa had instructed him not to speak to me. It is on video. You destroyed the same person who were building a project with him. Now, I redirected the project from Nambere and used now another fighter, which is called Sika. They were working, and they met a conspiracy and killed him. I'll tell you this incident later. However, the materials is all still there. They gathered for the rocket launcher. They were with Kommando. And Kommando had to leave for Bamenda to meet General Kata, who were now coordinating together with General Kata. On their way to go, this man, either if it is not from Congo, it should be from Miki Febia, who called to say that there is an ambush waiting for Kommando on the way to capture him. That's how we had to call it off. It should be true. And he said, I am angry with Kommando, but I will not allow people amongst us to kill fighters. And that was after Irengwa and Henry had made audio that they will cut off the head of Kommando. The audios are there. Let me do the video.
Yeah, we will get to that now.
Let me complete this last statement.
Okay.
When that one happened, the project was being reviewed. Then Ambazonia Bobo came up with a video and audio sabotaging the same project that money had been given and had not done.
How did Ambazonia Bobo get the information about this project?
Okay. Thank you very much. And that is where this conspiracy, how the people build up people to talk. By that time, Ochiba had not started talking on audios. Madam Irene Gwa introduced this, bring up Ambazonia Bobo. Ambazonia Bobo was the only, most of his activism was only against Sikod. That was the person. It is, remember, Ambazonia Bobo is a special friend known by Madam Irene Gwa herself. He built him up to use him for conspiracies against me because I was protecting the interest of Kommando. Ambazona Bobo sent every information out. Now, those materials remained, and I held a meeting with the Restoration Council, the cabinet of this IG, and we decided that those materials should be divided. All most of those materials went to the 7 Qatar. They are all there documented. If you want every details of everything that was bought, those that remain in Battle, those that went to Big, those that remain in the LGA of Bafut, and the lady that was the chair lady spoke to me, and she was supposed to come to collect those materials. I never touched the crap. I put in money.
Now you have said that before Kommando was killed, you had not spoken to him for about a considerable period. What is it? How long is that period, would you say?
I said it was over 2 weeks that I did not communicate with Kommando, but he sent to prepare for a mission. All the drama. Remember, before this mission, when I took over the TTE, which I am now opening.
Hold on. Before this mission at which Kommando was killed, you were still their direct sponsor, am I correct?
That's right.
Now, it has been said that you identified the TTA, the Terminators, in this Canadian retreat as being part of that retreat, supporting that retreat, enlisted by you. Was Kommando aware of that, you presenting them in Toronto as supporting that movement?
Well, I should answer that, but I think the first part of your question should be answered, and then this one.
Okay, go on.
And let me let you know that I was talking about a leakage of where some people, when I staged a video, those are leakages that came from Commando's camp. Now, I was working with Jackson. There is Jackson who leads the Momo Marshals, who works with the interim government. Blink, who is the younger brother to Kommando, answers directly to him. All the marshals. And then Kommando is talking directly to me. And the other camps talking directly to me. Now, what happened? Because this information had been leaking too much of where they want to go. Remember, they had tried to make an attack in Winnipeg. It leaked. They went, it leaked. They tried Amoka, and there was those issues. So that is when Kommando sent an audio that because he has often told us about project or where he was going and then leakage, he is not going to say where he was going. Jackson didn't know that it went out. Still like me. His group, which are called the Momo Marshals, were there. 3 of the boys of the Momo Marshals fell on battle with Kommando. Today, they have not body has called the name of Jackson. They are calling my name. Secondly, there were people who told me that Kommando has died in battle.
We're going to come to that, comrade. In fact, that is the thrust of all of this. We're going to get there. But tell us about this Toronto retreat where it is said that you actually presented the TTAs as endorsing the Canadian retreat. Did you do that?
No, I am in as much as Kommando was alive, we have had the argument that any of the political representation will be done by me, and every defense decision will be taken by him. I cannot appoint a commander nor a captain. I can give them advice. When it comes to diaspora representation, I have to do that. And so I sent him information, and it was okay that go on. You are the one who lobbies the money, you are the one who does everything. So if you know that it is good to represent them, go and fight. And that is how I represent them. But I did that online. I attended one of the days. But now the Mogamo people went behind the scene, sent audios and everything to the boys that I traveled to Canada. And in Canada, I received an envelope. That envelope was used to kill the boys. And I don't know if anybody ever received money from Canada. I don't know if I even traveled in my dreams. But I know for sure that any place where they are gathered in the name of Amazon and in the name of finding a solution to end this crisis, Sikod will be there.
So, comrade, as far as Canada is concerned, you endorse the TTA being represented in Canada.
Yes.
Did you understand the mission of Canada, Toronto?
Yes. And I have no regret.
And do you understand what the CDN stands for?
Yes.
If you can enlighten us a little bit, please.
The CDN are a group of persons that are ambassadors who want that a negotiated settlement should take place. They don't care whether it is which field, whether it is under Switzerland or it is under which government. But they want to facilitate that Amazonian leaders should come together and speak with one voice, so that La République du Cameroon will not have any excuse to say they don't know who to negotiate with. And I am happy that at the end of that meeting, there was a resolution that everyone should endorse and join the Swiss-led process as the only available process presently, and then struggle to improve the process. Secondly, it also called for a multilateral settlement, which means Swiss should also invite some other countries to join it.
Comrade,
So,
I asked that question for a purpose.
Yes.
The CDN has said they are neutral as far as this conflict between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon is concerned. And yet we know, as you've said, they are Ambazonians. Does it argue well to you that there are a group of Ambazonians whose people are being killed and slaughtered and their homes burnt down and genocide is going on, and there is a group of Ambazonians who say they are neutral? Didn't that concern you?
Okay. Now, let me ask you, let me answer it like a question. Mr. Chris, I know you represent the interim government as their spokesperson. There are places that you act as the communication secretary of the interim government. But there are instances that you go out as Chris Arnold. Am I right?
Correct.
So there are people inside the CDN that as a group that want negotiations be facilitated. There are a group of diplomats that want to bring their expertise to do things that will bring La République to the table, advise us with their expertise.
Yeah, but then
Now,
you will agree with me.
That group has to be neutral, but individuals.
Hold on there, comrade. You will agree with me that all of us, whether you belong to the interim government or not, any genuine Ambazonian who wants a solution to this conflict is out there doing everything to look for an international solution. So, is it okay to say, I have to reach out to some diplomat to act as a neutral person before I can bring some people on the table to look into this conflict?
Yeah, yes. I am letting you know that there are people inside the CDN that are also belonging to the International Town Hall that contribute their monies. to help restoration forces. There are people inside the CDN that privately belongs to groups that finance what happens on the ground.
You
But
are right. However, you are right.
When it comes to CDN, they want a forum that the international bodies, as diplomats, have been advised that you must come out of a canopy of behaving as if you are neutral. But inside the CDN, so they act now as giving us the powers to say what we want. And that is why inside the Toronto conference, they did everything, and unanimously in the hall, they agreed for a negotiated settlement. Number two, 95% or 98% inside the hall were people that want independence. Their research on Ground Zero showed that 85% of people in Ground Zero under a survey they made that they want independence. Now, have you read the declarations, the public declarations they made?
Comrade, the problem there is that the CDN conducts a survey, and as you say, 85% of the people say they want their own country. But the CDN is saying, no, they don't want their own country. They just want some greater autonomy. That was their report. The final report they wrote after that survey. Now,
is that the only report you have read about the
take
CDN?
them to declare neutrality to look for a solution?
Is that the only report you have seen about the CDN?
So, but the question is, does it have to take the CDN as Ambazonian to declare some neutrality to this conflict in the midst of their people being slaughtered to look for a solution to this? Now, I am bringing these questions because, you know, the overwhelming majority of Ambazonians out there think that CDN is a fraud. Because when your people are being killed and slaughtered, your homes burnt down, and you are talking about neutrality as an Ambazonian, let anybody, let the French, let the Swiss, let the Americans, let the Nigerians, let them talk neutrality, not people whose families are being killed.
Mr. Chris Arnold,
yes, sir.
Is it better to be neutral and you want that because you should end, or is it better to fight for federation? Who did something that was worse? You spoke with Munzo on your live show. You spoke with Trundi, who have said Cameroon will remain united. And then there are people who say, no, we just want to give a forum where people will come and express themselves, come united, build on a retreat that will train themselves on what it takes to be on the negotiation table.
Let me ask you, Judson. Let me ask you.
Federation or the CDN that want that you, Chris Arnold from the IG, you, Ayaba, should come and speak like one so that we will knock those doors, international doors, that will be able to now force La Republic and say, these people that you are seeing that are organized and they need to have the negotiation.
Comrade, let me ask you, if you, Sikod Judson, were to walk to the British, to the Belgians, to the Canadians, to say, hey, listen, I am an Ambazonian, but I am neutral in this conflict. Do you think they will listen to you and take you seriously? But secondly, why do you think the international community would believe some neutral Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, to the Swiss who have offered their services, and the Canadians who have offered their services to broker peace in this conflict? Why do you think anybody would believe CDN than believe the Swiss and the Canadians?
The Swiss were in Canada. Why would the Swiss trust them? Ireland was in Canada. Why did they talk to the city? Now, there are other nations, including those that are represented, that you have been having meetings with, the Indian government. Why would we not give them they hear. If they say, okay, we have the avenue, we want the leaders to talk in one word, we will be able to know how to influence and help you. They are neutral, yet they are able to help you to end the fight or the struggle as fast as possible. Why did we unite with them?
My particular problem, that is my particular
Number two,
problem,
why would
Jason,
on
that
a
is my
negotiation
particular
table?
problem. My particular
Now,
problem,
for 2 years,
is that, no, just listen. My particular problem is that CDN just want to end the conflict, as you put it. They don't care, and that's what they talk about, neutrality. They just want
is a conflict
the
ended,
conflict
Mr.
to be
Chris?
over. They just want a ceasefire. They just want peace.
No.
And the Dimabola continues with one and indivisible.
No, that is not it. Mr. Chris Ano, it is not by a conference that will determine whether we are going free or not going free. It is on a negotiation table. Mr. Chris, you had advocated for the Swiss-led process for 2 years.
Correct.
We have been waiting behind you for the Swiss to bring the La Republic on the table for 2 years. Why can we not be patient for one meeting and see if they would be able to use the diplomatic corridors as they have told us to bring La Republic to the table that
But then you are talking about their diplomatic corridors. Their diplomatic corridors are who? The people you mentioned were at the meeting. The Swiss, the Irish, the Canadians.
Potential.
The same people whom we already have on the table. If they were to bring in the British, they were to bring in the Belgians, bring in maybe Norway or Denmark and so on, that would be some new open doors, right? Anyways, that is not the subject of this interview. Let's move on. Now let's get back to...
Let me finish. Let me say that the CDN had done something that you of the interim government had not done. Let me say it categorically clear. Dr. Sako was given a mandate. He was given a mission. And what was the mission? That build a team for Ambazonia to be united. So that, because we'll be going like Team Ambazonia, which he has formed. But he has not succeeded to bring in the Yerimas. He has not succeeded to bring in the Ayabas. And he claims that this is the team. But go on the documents, the letterhead. It is showing interim government of Ambazonia. It is showing
which letterhead are you referring to?
The letterhead of Team Ambazonia. You will see every group that is represented. You will see interim government. You will see ARS. It is written there. And then you still see another self-defense group.
Comrade, I think you make a mistake there. Let me correct something there. Let me correct something there. You made a mistake in your assertion.
You have not worked according to the mandate the Swiss gave you.
Let me correct that. Let me correct that because I am seated in that group, and you have to understand it takes two to tango. We have about nine groups that constitute the Team Ambazonia that you refer to. Now, you will also remember that Yerima that you mentioned was there in Swiss, was supposed to be part of it from day number one. He walked out. How about Cho Ayaba? They attended the meetings, decided to go out and campaign against the Swiss. I hope you remember. Now they are running after the Swiss now to see whether they can come in. So you see, comrade, it is not Sako's problem if people are not willing to come to the table. It is the responsibility of those who truly believe they are out for a free Ambazonia to come to the table, join 9 others to constitute the team. Sako is not going to be begging anybody to come to the table. They should see it as a responsibility to come to the table.
That is very right. They said they have been given their excuses that La Republique had not committed. But you or Dr. Sako said vehemently that the Swiss had, or that La Republique had committed, which means they had signed to come on the negotiation table. It is 2 years.
But Sako was right, isn't it?
He's not right because they have not committed.
Let me tell you why. He was
But
right. He
now,
was right
the CDN
because he was right. If you know that La Republic has put out an official statement that says we are not working with the Swiss, we're not talking to the Swiss, we're not engaged with the Swiss. Is there any formal statement out that says this?
Okay. All right, it has not. But there is a second issue. There is a second issue that now they said they wanted other countries to join the Swiss to make it multilateral. But you did not give them that condition.
No,
so now
it is not left to us. It is not left to the interim government or to Dr. Sikod to tell anybody, any mediator who should join them. Any country.
The CDN has successfully brought them, the same Yaba, the same Yerima, and all others, even the tasks that have never been made by the same Amazonia, to tell us inside the closed forum what the Swiss is all about. Now, they have brought all those people together and say, no, you don't sit out of the table, you don't stay outside and say it should be multilateral.
Comrade, I think there is something that you are not, let me say this, I think there is something you are not getting.
No, they are not
it is easy to gather people together and say, hey, we have now done this, we've not done that. That is just a meeting. Tomorrow, the interim government can call for a meeting and invite everybody, and they will all gather around the table. The question is, what happens after that? Again, please, let's hold on this issue. Let's get to Kommando, because that is why you are here. Let's get to the recall, the trust of Kommando's issue. Field Marshal talks to Kommando, and Kommando says, Sikod Judson is the only person who has been supporting me. And we don't know how long he died after that conversation with Field Marshal, but you become the center in the picture. What did you know, again, about the event at which Kommando died? Did he die? Tell us, did he die at a battlefront or he died somewhere else?
Mr. Chris, as I said again, I'm not here to defend myself.
Correct. No, I understand that completely, and I'm not putting you in the box here.
I'm not also here to knock heads of some people. But the first thing I want to say is that Kommando died as a hero. Many generals that we have known in this revolution did not die on the battlefront. I can tell you without mincing words that the bullet that touched Kommando touched him from the battleground. It was on battle that Kommando died. Number two, I am happy, even in my sadness, that Kommando felt accepted by somebody prior to his dying. Number three, I am happy that Kommando left his retirement home, where he was now sitting and judging cases, and went back to the field. Then it was time to bid farewell. Remember, Kommando, before he was elected as a general for Momo, did what the same No Pity is doing, but was not on camera. They had never known what it was, a camera. I can tell you more than 3 heads that were cut in PHS Baltimore, it was by Kommando. People of that Mogamo descent will tell you about heads they have discovered on the street and the bodies. It was by Kommando. Many missions he carried before people gathered all around him and voted him. It was by mail. But when he didn't have materials, I provided. But now he died on the battlefield. Now, if I am supposed to be sad, and I am sad, but I know he died on the battlefront, and we're supposed to honor him, give him the honor. But if somebody is supposed to be suspected, it is not supposed to be Sikod.
So tell us, why are they suspecting Sikod, though?
Because of the conspiracy by the Mogamo people.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
Did not say that, or maybe the conspiracy they are telling you, you need to tell me what they said. How
you
did I kill
you said
Kommando?
it is a conspiracy by more people, and I'm trying to let us know what you know.
And now, yeah, for me, he died on battlefront. But now, if the people say it is Sikod, how did it involve Sikod? Why would I, first of all, why would I kill a man that was training boys from all over, from Boya, from Bello, from every other place, and safeguarded the technicians that came? Number two, why would I kill a man that my younger brother was? If you don't know, our family had disowned us because of our involvement in this. Did you see this clothes that is white? That Kommando is wearing?
Yes.
The people of Mogamo are sending out information that Sikod sold these dresses to Kommando for 1st of October. And I took it to Babalawo to spoil it and Kommando to wear. Is that how we should base our accusations in a struggle like this? That is what is happening. Number two, the LGA have now sent out an audio by the commander of the LGA, sent out an audio claiming that Blink and the boys of Munzo have arrested some mothers and some people in the village and locked inside their camp, claiming that they are the people who killed Kommando spiritually. Now, where is Sikod? What have the boys said about Sikod? And I'm asking you, Mr. Chris Ano, Kommando has a younger brother. Did he tell you that Sikod knew about that project? Did he tell you that I did this? Then I come back to tell you that the uniform he was wearing, he went and commanded everything, did everything with that tailor, and only asked me for money. And I gave them the money, which did it. And I didn't know that. That is all. Coming back to the day he died, the first person who told me that Kommando is dead at 12:26 p.m. finish time was Henry, the younger brother of Kommando.
Tell us exactly what Henry told you when, because I know you have said that
Yes.
Henry gave you a call. Tell us exactly the conversation that you had with Henry.
On the 23rd of February at 12:26 p.m. my time, which is 11:26 p.m., Henry gave me that call. As we spoke, he told me that there is something, it is very difficult for me to say it, but listen to some audios. Send me the audio. Before I could listen to the audios, he called again and said, is it true that Kommando has died at the battlefront? The younger brother of Iran. And I said, no, I'm not, I don't even know whether they went out. So you are the one telling me. He said, okay, fine. I said, okay. Now he dropped, and then he called me back again. He said, I've heard everything. The same time we were speaking, that was when Captain Gilbert, Captain Bertus, who was carrying Kommando, called me. He told me at that time, which was now about 12:35 my time, I said, he said that that's how he called me. He said, we just lost the general. I said, lost the general? Where? Then crying behind, sobbing behind. He said, he just died now. I said, where did he die? He said, we were almost reaching the camp. We carried him because we were from Gi. We made an attack in Gi. We have been there for 2 days, and then Kommando fell. I said, how did he fall? He said, it was a small shot on him. They didn't see where it came from. As I'm talking to you, there is no blood. There's just some little blood as we have removed his dress. There's little blood on his arm. Then it's all. He has died. And when they shot him, he was still fighting. And then, before long, he became weak. In less than a week, they started carrying him. All right. I said, did he die in Gi? He said, no, he died already more than 45 minutes after they carried him from Gi. Then I reflected that Henry told me that they shot him in Gi, And some Boromo people, some Hausa people, were the people who called them to say they have Kommando has died, and people in Gi are crying. How did you know? He said the boys inside Guzan had called him to say that is what happened. Okay. Now, I was thinking, if you speak with the Chairman Jackson, he will tell you that there is nobody living in Gi apart from the military. That is to answer you that why have videos not come out? Why did anybody not see any action? The people are not living inside Gi. They have left the place. It is all grown. It is only that military barrack that was there. So no individual can go to that military camp opposite to take video. So as long as I know he died on battleground, and if somebody has to be suspected, it is the man who called to announce that he has died when he had not died, who died 45 minutes later. Okay, number 3. After this boy had told me Kommando died, he now confirmed with Henry that he had called me from ground zero to confirm that Kommando had died. Few minutes later, somebody else sent him an audio where he is announcing in a forum that I don't know that just as we have been discussing about Kommando's death, it is now official, it is true. I have spoken with Sikod, and Sikod has been called from ground zero to confirm that Kommando has finally died. I have the audio. Kommando has finally died. So,
Comrade, if I may stop you there a little bit. You said that Henry, who happens to be the junior brother to Iringwa, was the one who first called you and broke the news of the death of General Kommando.
Yes.
What did he tell you about? I mean, how did he tell you he got the news?
He said some people, these Mborolo people of Ngi, had told them that this Kommando had died. And in as much as we speak, I have interviewed all the boys that went out for that project. And they said nobody around. Nobody saw them. Nobody gathered to cry the death of Kommando. Nobody in Gi knew that Kommando fell in battle. Nobody. But they had the interpretation that Mborolo people, who are the Mborolo people that called and the public is crying. The audios are there. Now, it was 4 days when George Ford had called Augustus, who is the captain, who was one of those boys who carried Kommando, who was standing beside Kommando when he was shot from I don't know where. He was the one who carried, and it is the person who George Ford called Kommando through that August Park. And then he called Kommando, threatened Kommando, and said, your days are now numbered. Okay. And you have to come back to the IG or I am seeing you dying.
I'm sorry, tell us again, who called Kommando?
George Ford. And
he called, George Ford called Kommando, yes, and threatened him and said, your days are now numbered.
Yes, and the voice of the
when was that? When was that? How long was that before the killing?
Just 4 days before the killing. 4 days.
Okay.
And the audios are out there that he also spoke with some other commanders with audio messages and telling them that I've seen the death of Kommando. And it is these days are now numbered. Those are his words. His days are his numbers. You can start counting his days. Those are his words. And it wasn't long. And remember,
so, if I may ask, why do you think George Ford was sending out that threatening message to Kommando?
That is the same thing I'm saying, that if they think that it is superstition that killed Kommando, then those are the people that are supposed to be suspected. Because
But
They
as
spoke with
somebody who
Kommando
was the main sponsor of Kommando, and you hear threats like that, you would want to find out why this person is putting out threats, isn't it? Didn't you want to find out?
Well, yeah, that is how those boys sent. The man had been himself making audios every day about myself. He
Who
has
is
been
that?
calling people.
Phone? Judge Phone?
The Judge Phone.
Okay.
Yes.
Why? Why? What was he saying about you?
Trying to tarnish me. He has often told even the boys that Sikod is mental. He is not stable. That my father was a madman. My father's father was a madman, and this and that and that. He has been giving all type of conspiracies to this boy. They are the same people who called these boys from Busan and told them that I went to Canada and collected money in order to kill them. But he has seen them dying in very few days to come. And let me tell you something. On the 6th of November, I sent an audio to Kommando that there was a meeting of some people from Mogamo that they have to kill Kommando and Blink. There are two ways they will use. They will use spiritual, and they will use some amber groups, but they will not involve Grandpa of Bali, because he has some soft spot for Kommando. I sent them those audios and asked Kommando to come, let me pray for him. I asked him to come, let me pray for him, because the dangers are real. Kommando sent me word that nothing happened, and he didn't come to me. I told Captain Rigobert that please, if you people are to go out, even if you don't tell me where you are going, please call me. I need to always pray for you. If you people are out on a battle, I go to my knees until you guys return, except I'm walking. And if I'm walking, I'll be meditating. And when he called me, if you ask, he is alive. When Kommando died and he called me, I asked him, Rigobert, why did you people go on the field without telling me? Kommando wouldn't have died if I prayed. Did I not tell you that I need to pray for you people before you ever go out? Look at it. Why? Because I know that battles like this we are fighting is not only physical, it is also spiritual. You fight battles in every way.
So tell us, comrade, tell us what you learned after the passing of Kommando. His little brother, Blink, Captain Blink, did not go to battle on that particular occasion. He was left home, and I guess there were others too that didn't go. They now must have know exactly what transpired at that battle. Tell us what they have told you.
Yes, I've had two stories, and I've been investigating. First, let me tell you how that battle went on. They went in with these same materials that Kommando was talking here about Akumaka, when two of them. They mounted it more than 100 meters away and launched it into that building. It scattered part of that building, as all of the sources have told me. The videos are not here because the one who videoed it died in that battle. The way he fell, I will explain. Now, when they had shot this special popcorn into that building, and then they went in for the attack, Kommando was himself the one who shot the one who was on the gunner. There are two gunners. These gunners are these guns that you put on the ground, pin it, and catch the ground. They finished those two people out there. Over. Then the other military men escaped. Some entered into the bunker. Commander Axis, who works under Blink, Commander Rainbow, who is leading one of the camps, the central barrack, and the commander of Azen, who are the most courageous and strongest one, had entered into the main building and were carrying materials. When they were carrying those materials, by that time they had overrun this camp. Everything was calm and they were harvesting. And Kommando was now holding the gunner was watching round to make sure those that are put in are safe. There were some on the right side, some on the left side, and others with him. Then one can enter into the building. Others will be breaking through in another direction to see if they can get into that bunker. When that happened, he suddenly heard Kommando say, "Hi, that people don't touch me. Father, people don't touch me." That was all. He didn't say they had shot me. Those were, all of them are the most when they all of them saying this narrative. That people don't touch me. How did they touch you? Then he said, "When I picked up a small man, when I can't take me like small fly, for example," and he continued. And he shot as he was shooting. Then suddenly his legs were now weak, getting weak. When his legs were now getting weak, Captain Ricover, as I was told, now shouted that the best part, teaching me like before, more general. He rushed and helped the general. While he did, when he heard the stick and was trying to look where the gun could have come, and then protecting, and then telling everybody to retreat, so that they will carry the general. So all the ones on the left and the right, they retreated with Kommando. That is where I asked them when they had arrived, "Where is Axis?" As everybody come back, they said, "Axis, Rainbow, and Spiritual of Azem have not yet returned, but they missed their way. They missed their way. So they will be missing in the bush, but we are hopeful that by evening they will come back." By evening, I found out nothing. The following day, nothing. That's why everybody thought Kommando died alone. Then it was now 2 days after that we found their bodies inside, thrown on the street. When I was investigating the story that the one person tried to tell me that it appears there was some carelessness. I think the security, but I should not be explaining all those there. But it appeared when the boy retreated, they left from inside late because of materials. They were carrying materials trying to run with it. And so when the military that had escaped discovered that these people are retreating, they started falling back on these people, and I'm sure that is how they ambushed them, because no other person saw how they died. So that's how they ambushed them and killed them. They died with the videos they had taken about the full capture and even the material they harvested.
All right, thank you a lot, comrade. I think that makes a lot of sense, makes some connections there. I want to say that for the record, I spoke to Henry yesterday. That is the Irene Ngwa's brother that you referred to. I spoke with him yesterday, and he stated that he had not spoken to Kommando for probably about a year, and he really had no reason to engineer the death or the killing of Kommando. The issues he said he had with Kommando were as far as I think sometime last year, after the draft of last year, when they went to ground one, and they had some misunderstanding, and that after that, before then, he was, I think, the security chief for Mogamo, and after that, he did not have any relationship with Kommando, and so he did not have any reason to be behind the death of Kommando. I just want to set that for the record. I will give you the last minute for the last statement so we can move on.
But I also wish you also say to the records about the accusation against me. Remember, I said I did not come here to accuse anybody. I said I knew the way I got the information. I got it from Henry. And so Kommando died on the battlefront. He is a hero. He is a man who refused to burn my house when some of them sent him to go and burn my family compound. He is the one that has shown evil.
Who was sending who to go burn your house?
I had made those videos and about.
Yeah, I got those audios. Unfortunately, they are all in the dialect, and I just could not understand any of them. Yes, but go on.
Yes, and I don't want to continue calling names of people, because I don't want to scatter people or make them fight. I don't want to keep on fighting with people. I explained to him here that I did not know Kommando went out. And when he died, if they are saying he died superstitiously, and so it should be me, then the people that I think should have been, should be this. It should not be me. And that is why I'm not here to accuse Henry. I'm not here to accuse Irene Gua, despite the fact that they had said they would kill Kommando. But what I can also say is that George Font just and said his days were now numbered. He said it.
Well, I will do everything. I will do everything to bring George Font here if he wants to defend himself. Right now, it is your word against his. Comrade, listen, I am really happy you took time to come out, come and explain this. I don't have to defend you because you are here speaking for yourself, and I want to believe that everybody has listened to your side of the story. If after listening to you, anybody still believes that you were behind the death of Kommando, is their opinion, but I think you have laid out the record to the best of your ability. So, thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here, and I wish that you will continue in this spirit. I think we should mend fences. We should reach out to other people, use your own self, and bring Ambazonians together so we can come together as soon as possible and finish this thing, because La Republique have decided to finish all of us. They don't distinguish. They burn our homes, they discriminate, they select. It is a selective massacre where they dodge some people and kill others. You spoke about the issue with Antoinette, Lady Antoinette, the former girlfriend to Nopiti. You can see the treatment. You have seen the burnings inside Bamenda. You have seen the federalism of Munzo that you have spoken about. And so I think that in as much as we differ how we should pursue, we are all for independence.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I can assure you.
Because I begged you sometimes when I was chairman for SCAF to come to your forum for the ABC. So you open up to us. It wasn't possible. You said it wasn't. What else is left for SCAF? But now I think you are building Ambazonia. You are no longer running a propaganda channel for an institution, but it is a news channel that informs and builds. And so let it help the whole Ambazonia. So
you can rest assured. You can rest assured that we will serve Ambazonia with this channel, and it doesn't matter where you, for as long as you believe in a free and independent Ambazonia, and you do not agree with the interim government, you don't agree with my direction, I will still bring you on this channel, I promise you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was great having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sikod Judson right there, speaking on the death of General Kommando, who was killed at the battlefront, allegedly about, I think about 2 weeks ago. I believe that the judgment is yours to make. He has narrated what he knows and mentioned the connections. I want to believe him. I want to believe him, and so we take it that way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to a very important subject, and this has to deal with the bomb blast. Some people call it bomb blast. I call it the explosion. The explosion in Boya. The explosion in Boya last night. We were told that this happened at a trade fair in Boya. This is very, very critical. This is very, very critical because this is not unconnected, I believe, to the so-called African Cup of Nations that is coming up, built for Ambazonia next month. We here at the interim government who have stated very, very clearly that any CAF or La Republique du Cameroon organized event in Ambazonia will not be acceptable, will not be tolerated. And I guess that what was happening in Boya yesterday was a test of the waters to see whether or not we mean what we say. Now, before I bring in Bishop John Egiawan to talk a little bit on this, I want to pass this message to La République du Cameroon authorities and African authorities who are putting these marches together in French Cameroon and in Ambazonia. We have no relationship with La République du Cameroon. And so should you allow La République du Cameroon coming to Ambazonia to host any form of marches in the name of CAF, you are going to the wrong territory. You are coming to the wrong territory. CAF, ladies and gentlemen, which is an organ of the an organ of the African Union, has not as much has made a statement. Let me put it this way: the African Union has not as much as made a single statement for 5 years that genocide has been the order of the day in Ambazonia, the southern Cameroons. And what they want to do is come to Ambazonia to test our spirits to see they can host their so-called African Nations Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we are passing this message to CAF authorities that Ambazonia is not ready for any competition in the midst of genocide and war. In the midst of genocide and war, you want the matches to be played in Ambazonia, postpone it to further notice or take it to the next country. Take it to the next country. And my appeal to every Ambazonian out there is this: you know the countries that are involved with these matches. It is your duty to reach out, tweet their embassies, tweet their ambassadors, tweet their presidencies, and tell them it is not safe for their players and their officials to be in Ambazonia for anything football organized by CAF. So please, we hope that this message gets across. Our people are being killed all over the place, from Bamenda to Boya. And they think that they can just come walk over the corpses of our people and play an international tournament. That is not going to happen. And we need to send the message as strong enough to the international community that these matches will not be played over the corpses of our brothers and sisters and over the charred remains of our homes burnt down by La République du Cameroon soldiers. Ladies and gentlemen, I am being joined by Bishop John Egiawan, who is also one of our security chiefs here at the interim government. Bishop John, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, Secretary Chris. I'm very glad to join you.
Thank you, and welcome to ABS.
Thank you very much.
All right, Bishop John, let's delve into this subject. We are talking about the killings in Bamenda and, of course, the bomb explosion in Boya. First of all, before we get into the opinion part of it, tell us what you know about what happened in Bamenda, please.
Secretary Chris, what happened in Bamenda is that the ARF had planted some of our homemade devices, as they know how to do it, and these were very, very powerful. There are some new acquisition that we have acquired, and that is everywhere, and they use this, and this totally destroyed La Repubblica Mocha. There was a convoy. It was a convoy of 3, and one was totally destroyed, and including the human beings that were in there, those La Republic terrorists that were inside the armored car. And as a result of this, the La Republic soldiers became so outraged, as they usually do, and just went on rampage, targeting Ambazonians. Secretary Chris, I say targeting Ambazonians because it is very clear now that La Republic, when they want to kill people, they make sure they don't kill any La Republic citizen that is in Ambazonia. They went on killing only Ambazonian, and people who they suspected or had any relation with Francophone or their La Republic, those people were spared. but any Ambazonian is a target. You see, even two young boys that were apprentices who were there doing their job, learning their job, trying to fight to have a better future for themselves, La Republic took their lives down. A disabled man was shot, and many houses were burnt.
Bishop John, you know, it is interesting. The narrative that we are getting from Bamenda, we are told that when they got to the home of this pastor whose son they were about to kill outside, the pastor came out, was speaking to them in French, very fluent French, and one of them said, listen, don't kill him, don't kill him. He can speak, he speaks really good French. Can you imagine what this has come to? That if you speak good French, which means identifying with the invaders, occupationals, you are spared. But if you speak English, you die. Can you imagine that?
Secretary Chris, I am not surprised by that, because remember Paul Biya said in France, we have tried to assimilate them. They have been trying to assimilate us, and speaking French is one of what they have really tried, that all Ambazonians should be French speaking. That's why they brought French into our schools. That's why they brought French into our courts. You know, they are bringing French. If you go to a bank, I went to Eco Bank in Victoria, Secretary Chris, and I spoke very bitterly to the manager in Eco Bank. I wanted to do a transaction, and the form they gave me, I wanted to open an account for my non-profit that was there. The form they gave me was all in French in Victoria, Secretary Chris. That's what is happening in Ambazonia.
Only in Victoria, even in Bamenda, in Boya, you go there, those officials, they speak to you, they communicate to you in French.
Yeah, all the forms are in French. Inside Ambazonia, the forms are in French. So I'm not surprised that they will spare, because it is part of their plan. It is the assimilation, the evil plan of assimilating Ambazonians to become La Republique and to become French. But they have not succeeded. So anybody who demonstrates that, they know that that's somebody who has surely been assimilated, you know. So that's why that pastor was spared.
So now we have the so-called CAF, African Cup of Nations, African Cup of Nations, being advertised for Ambazonia, precisely in Victoria and Boya. And the message we are sending, a very strong message we want African nations, the AU, to know, is that Ambazonia is a nation, is a country, and Ambazonia hasn't participated in the organization of this tournament, and that Ambazonia cannot guarantee the security of African visitors and players who are coming to Boya. And I guess what took place in Boya last night, the images we find on our screen right now, was a signal, a warning to those organizing that tournament, that Ambazonia is not secure for any African Cup of Nations matches in Boya. Bishop John, what would you add to that?
Yes, I want to add this, Secretary Chris. There's something that I'm going to say here, and the only reason I want to say this is because I don't know if the international community is listening to me. Those countries that are coming to play or have been planned to play in Victoria, I am saying this for their sake. La Republique thinks that they are wiser than Ambazonia. But let me tell you, Secretary Chris, it's 5 years and we have entered into this war. Head, leg, hands, everything. We learn very quickly. We know that La Republique targets our own Anglophone fighters that are in the La Republique military, and they are very suspicious of them. But I want to say that La Republique cannot evade, they cannot escape the strategy that we are using, because we have La Republique citizens who are sympathetic with us. They are sympathetic to the Ambazonian plight. They are sorry, they are sick and tired of the condition of La Republique or what La Republique is doing, and they are working with us. They are insiders. So I want to warn all the countries that are coming to Ambazonia to play football. Don't come, because you might be a corpse. You might lose a limb, you might lose a leg, you might lose your life. If you go to Victoria to play football. There is no way La Republic will prevent Ambazonians from doing what we are going to do. This that has just happened in Boya is a sign. It is a test and it's a sign. People, the La Republic is doing everything to prove to the international community that there is peace and everything is okay in Ambazonia, which is a very big fat lie. But this is a proof, and we are doing it, and the Ambazonia Restoration Forces is waxing strong. The Ambazonian people are very determined for us to have our independence, and so we are giving a warning to CAF. We are giving a warning to the participant of the African Nations Cup. We are giving you a warning that if you love your life, do not go and play football in Ambazonia. Don't go to Victoria. Let me call it the name you know. Don't go to Limbe. You will die. Don't go to Limbe. You will die. Because we have all what it takes. We have favor, and we have even La Republic people working with us. There's no way they will be able to thwart the plans that we have to destroy and to make sure the international community know that there is war in Ambazonia. We will use this opportunity for CAF to do the worst, for the world to know that we mean business. We mean business.
Well, thank you. I hope that they get the message. They get the message that you are passing here. What role, Bishop John, can people on the ground play in making sure that these matches do not take place in Ambazonia?
Number one, they should not buy the ticket. I hear that they are even offering free entry. They should not go. I am pleading for Ambazonia. We love you. We are fighting for you. Don't go and lose your life without seeing independence. Stay in your home. Stay in your home. Number two, give us information. Everywhere where those people are lodging, send us a secret message on WhatsApp. You know our numbers. Send it to us. Nobody will come and see you sending us a message. Use secure means to send. I'm not going to tell you which means you are going to use, but you know every secure means to send us a message. Tell us where those people are lodging. Give us any information you want to, where La Republic is congregating. Tell us where all those La Republic terrorists are hiding. We see a lot of them in civilian clothes. We have been able to document where some of them are. We have our spies on the ground, but we want our network of spies to increase. So we are telling every La Republic in Victoria, in Ambazonia, see something, say something. It is your right. Say it to us. Stay safe. Let our ARF, let our private agents, let our La Republic friends have this information that you have, and we will make very good use of it. Thank you very much.
Now, Bishop John, there is no doubt, we know that as of now, La Republic du Cameroon's military, they are everywhere in Victoria, in Boya, in Monya, in Tiko, in Motengene, in even up to, I guess, Moyoka. What should be the security concerns for our people out there at this moment to after those matches in that period in January?
Well, you know, La Republic is going to commit a lot of damage, and La Republic is going to be very suspicious because, you know, La Republic is so afraid of what the Ambazonia Restoration Forces can do. And I'm just so sorry for many Ambazonians that if you are going and finding yourself out there, you are putting yourself at risk because La Republic is going to be killing. Is going to be targeting, just killing. When they see that you are Ambazonians and you resemble an Ambazonian, they are going to kill you. They are going to shoot you when they have not even seen anything. So La Republic is going to be causing a lot of damage. La Republic is going to be causing a lot of damage by killing our innocent Ambazonians, especially when the explosives start going off. They'll be killing people. So stay in your house. In fact, if you live in Victoria, go on vacation. Go on vacation right now. Just take vacation and leave Victoria because you might be a target or you might be a victim to what La Republic will do.
What can the diaspora do? I know there is a message out that we should contact the diaspora, must make it an obligation to reach out to every African embassy, I mean the countries that are involved with these matches.
Secretary Chris, the human right, I think the Human Rights Watch, they have put a message out there repeatedly that it is not safe to go to Ambazonia. I hope these embassies and these countries, they are getting this message, and that this message should go to the player. Yeah, La Republic is doing lobby, and you know that most of these countries, they are French, and they are being lobbied by the French just to prove to the world that La Republic has control over Ambazonia. It is a very big fat lie. If you want to go and lose your life, okay, take the risk and go and lose your life. But don't fall for the money that La Republic is going to do, bribe you. What Eto is doing, just deceiving people, going around with bodyguard. Everybody around Eto is military, bodyguard, all secure. Why did he not just walk alone and go? He has all this security and people are being deceived. If Ambazonia was safe, why would they be walking in armored car? Why would they walk with so much security, all armed and tight like that, if Ambazonia was safe? Is that not an evidence to you that it is not safe to go to Ambazonia? So please send this message out to all the embassies, to all the diplomats of these countries that are going to play football there. Send them the message of the human rights organization that put out that says it's not safe to go to Ambazonia. These people, they have information, they have intelligence, and they have analyzed and they have seen that it is not safe to be in Ambazonia. Ambazonia, where a child is going to school, they will kill. A woman sitting in their house, they will kill. A boy will sit learning apprenticeship, who is an apprentice, they will kill. La Republic is just killing everybody. So, and this time it's not only La Republic who is going to cause damage, because the Ambazonia Restoration Forces is bent on making a statement. It's bent on making a statement. So there's a double, do they call it double jeopardy here? There's a double level of risk. The damage that is going to be caused by La Republic and the statement that is going to be made by the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, so that the world will know. This is a stage La Republic is setting it for us, so that the international community will know. God has punished them. God has punished them that they do not listen and they keep making mistakes. So far, the international community have not paid attention to our plight. It has happened in Boya today. That news has gone very far. What happened in Boya today has gone very far. What will happen in Victoria? What will happen in Victoria? All those television stations that don't want to announce something, they will announce it. They will announce, and the world will know that Ambazonia is very bad there. The thousands and thousands of bees that they have in Victoria, they will not be able to evade the destruction that we have planned inside Victoria. They will not be able to evade that destruction, because, thank God, we have people who have heart for us. Even insiders in La Republic, they cannot know them. They are working with us. So La Republic, I am telling you, for the sake of life, save the life of these players, these our celebrities. Please save their life. Stay in your home or stay in La Republic.
Talking about the media, I learned this afternoon that La République du Cameroon has ordered all their major media houses to black out on the event in Boya last night. And I guess they will black out many others that will be taking place in the days ahead. Do you think this is a strategy to succeed? Because the social media is there. I mean, gone are the days when they black out on everything and thought nobody was seeing it. The social media has made every secret every secret an open secret. So how do they think they're going to dodge this?
Say the Chris, they will try, it will work to an extent, but they will not get success. Because even satellite, La Republic does not control all the satellites on the air, in space. They don't control the satellites. So we will still get the information, and the information will still go out. You understand? The information will go out. So whatever they do, they will not succeed. They can black out whatever. The news is already out. It's already on social media. The world is seeing what damage has taken place in Boya. People are seeing it. And Ambazonia, who are so stupid like goat and pigs, I'm very sorry for some certain Ambazonians who take this war as a joke. No matter what we tell them, they don't listen. You go out there, we tell you don't go out there, and you go out there. Some of you, you deserve to even die, because I don't see any reason why La Republic is killing our people, and you still go out there to support La Republic's event. Why are you doing this? Why are Ambazonians so stupid, so foolish? Why? Who has bewitched Ambazonians to be supporting La République in their devilish effort to undermine our effort, our plight for independence? Why are Ambazonians so hurriedly out to go out to support La République event? That is why we are warning every Ambazonian, when you get out of your house, say you are going out to support any La République event, you have become an enabler of La République. And so if you die, you are dying a useless and a cowardice death. You are dying because you are foolish and you are stupid.
Bishop John, the problem there is you will have Francophones who live in Victoria, in Boya, in Tico, in Mutengene, going out not only to want to attend these marches, but serving as spies for La République in these towns and cities. It is unfortunate that we still have these people living in our territory and working against us, and also talking about even the marches. Of course, you know, if we dare allow a single march to take place in Victoria or in Boya, I bet you thousands of people will be transported from Douala, from Banga, and all those surrounding towns and cities into Victoria to tell the world, Ambazonia, there is no problem in Ambazonia. Look at their football stadium. Look at how many people are there. Remember, they have learned from our failure of the first Chan encounter where we said we were going to stop it. We didn't stop it. If we do not make sure it is stopped now, you know exactly what will happen. They will ship people from Banga, from Douala, all everywhere into Victoria just to show the world, to prove a point. What can be done to make sure this doesn't happen?
I want to tell you something, Secretary Chris. Chan or no Chan, the war between La République and Ambazonia is not going to end. Whether there is Chan or there is no Chan, I just want to correct that statement that you are saying there. Whether there is Chan or there is no Chan, this war will not end until we get our independence. So Chan cannot determine the future of this war. Chan is only a battle. It is not a war. The war will end when we get our independence. That's it. So Chan or no Chan is not going to end this war. I just want Ambazonians to know this. But you are talking about that those people go out there, they are Francophone. Yes, we know they are Francophone spies. But a lot of those people who were hot today in Boya, they are Ambazonians. They are Ambazonians. What were they doing out there? A lot of them are planning to go to Victoria. You see some of them with very short skirt, sexy. Are they going to look for men, or what are they going to? This is so stupid. Why would people put their life at risk because they think that they're in Boya or they're in Victoria, where there's an urban town, while people are dying in the rural areas? Ambazonians should learn to know that we all have to play our role to win this war. Those of you in the cities, you should play your role by staying home, by not supporting La République effort. Don't give chance for La République to show that everything is okay. Stay in your house. So some of you are the one who is prolonging this war. If everybody of all the Ambazonians had joined together and just listened to what they are doing, people stay in their houses and they are cooperating, this war would have ended. It is these people who are enabling La République. You know, stay in your house. Stay in your house. Yes, for those of you who are spies, but you know that, Secretary Chris, let me tell you, Ambazonia is very good. But La République is pushing us to the wall. A time is going to come when we are going to start purging Ambazonia of all these La République spies, all these La République enablers, and all their citizens in Ambazonia. Look at what took place in Bamenda. Only they are just killing Ambazonians. They don't purge their citizens. Okay, we will teach a lesson to their citizens. Look, that's an Ambazonian. We will teach a lesson to their citizens. No, you go there, you will see the houses of La République citizens, Secretary Chris, they will skip it. And they will go to an Ambazonian house. And they will do the damage. That's what these people are doing. You know? No, a time is coming for them. We are telling you, you think that oh my goodness, I don't know why people are so stupid. This war is not going to end without our victory. So those people who are still holding on, are still trying to be on the fence, I am telling you to make a decision, because you are only putting your life at risk. You are putting your life at risk. If you are a Republic citizen, begin to pack your bag and leave Ambazonia. We will not tell you when we are coming.
All right, Bishop John, it was a pleasure to have you, sir. At this moment, I am going to open the phones for a few phone calls. Again, Bishop John, it was a privilege to have you, sir. You remain safe out there.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I will now open the phone lines and to let you chip in your contribution to the show of today. You have the phone line right there in the screen. So go ahead, make your phone call. But before you call, make sure that you shut down the volume of your TV set. Again, if you're watching on TV, before you call, make sure that you shut down the volume of your television set. So please go ahead and call. And when you call, you have only 1 minute. You have only 1 minute when you call. And I have the first caller coming from ground zero. Let me see. Hello. Hello. Okay, that is poor network there. Let's see if somebody else is on the line. Let's see. All right. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening. Thank you for letting me to talk on your show today. My observation.
May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Germany, sir.
Germany. All right. Thank you. What is your contribution?
Yes, I heard Sikod Judson saying that whether the conference in Canada rallied people more than what the IG did. I just want to make this clear to Ambazonian that the IG did marvelous job through the act. They rallied almost all the faction, maybe just excluding A of C that don't really want to, don't know if they work with La Republique, excluding A of C. So if Sikod Judson came on air to say that the conference in Canada rallied faction that the IG could not do, that was not very clear to me. So I just wanted to make that point very clear to Ambazonian. Then explain that for what happened in Boya, I think some Ambazonians, they don't really know what we are going through. They would prefer either their life or to go and have some fun for a minute and destroy their life. Anything like the is doing in our soil is just, to prove us wrong, whereas we are at war. So I will advise Ambazonian, let them stay at home and be safe instead of going there and get killed, because La Republique can do anything to them with the intention to put it on us. We are killing civilians and so on and so forth. So people should stay home and stay safe. That's just my contribution, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the call. Remain strong out there and support the struggle. All right. Let's see who next is on the line. Okay. Let's see where this caller is coming from. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, good afternoon or good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Maryland, Columbia, to be precise. First of
Okay.
all, I just want to thank you for the job well done, what you've been doing to sustain the struggle. I'm not going to take much of the time, but I just want to say that this has come the time where every young Ambazonian, I don't want to stretch up to grown-ups, but every young Ambazonian, because they have been the one dragging back this struggle. Recently, I noticed that Etofis won the Football Federation. He became the president. And every Ambazonian that I know stormed all over the social media to congratulate him. But again, when the crisis in Bamenda happened,
I think those were Cameroonians, not Ambazonians, congratulating him.
Majority of the people, which I know, were all Ambazonians jubilating. You know, and again, when I look at it, I said, I don't know what our young Ambazonians really want, because it seems as if they've been the one dragging us behind. But nonetheless, what just happened in Boya is just an eye-opening. So they should be mindful of what the IG is putting together. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You remain strong and keep up the spirit.
Yep.
All right. Let's get to the next caller here. I think this is ground zero. Hello. 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 Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling from, please?
I'm calling from Victoria.
Wonderful. How was Victoria today?
Victoria was cool and the ghost town was strong.
Wonderful.
There was a bit order of it.
Okay, so what is your contribution tonight? Hello.
Hello?
Yes, what is in your mind tonight?
Secretary Chris, I just want to support
Go on, please. Go on.
John to tell him that he should not worry. He should not worry. We have every strategy to take all the hotels that they have booked for players to stay. We know the hotels and the gang up they are making to bring academics school from Yaoundé and Douala to come and watch the match in Limbe. Limbe is okay. We know we are warning the proprietors of all those hotels that after the Nation Cup, they may find it difficult with their hotels, or the players can go to the field and play. While coming, they will meet their hotel down. So they should be very careful, because we know all what they are doing, La Republic is doing to put all effort that the Nation Cup should take place. So we are telling Bishop John that we are going to join with him and do the work. Just warning La Republic to know that. And even what they came here to do, we are telling Junior Jalakwan, who is the person supporting Tofisi and Limbe, to remove his hand from anything concerning La Republic that is taking place here in Ambazonia land, because we will not take it easy with them. We are going to tell them that we own this land and this land belongs to us. So they should wait us and be rest assured that what happened in Boya today, we passed this message earlier. People thought that we were joking. Limbe, Victoria will not be the way they think. Any gathering, people should stay at home, watch their match. Let them bring their visitors from Yaoundé and Douala Bafoussam. They will get us hot. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope they hear you. All right. You remain safe, sir. All right. The lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. The lines are open. Let me see. Somebody writes, Secretary Chris, with regards to the death of Kommando, he did not die in the Ngi near Oshe. He died in a remote village very close to where he lives called Ngi in Mogamo. There is no military there. I am from Batibo and I talked to my quarter head who told me this. I was wondering how they got his corpse to his camp from Ngi in Momo, which is so far away with. Remember, they carried him back to camp. Even Sikod does not know the geography of Mogamo. I know because I used to explain to him where villages are located and what roads lead to them. I don't know who killed Kommando, but there was no battle in that remote area, and it was not La République du Cameroon. Okay, that is your opinion. Thank you. Let's get to the phones again. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Can you turn down the volume of your television set, please?
Yeah, it's turned out effectively. Thank you.
Thank you. You are calling from where, sir?
I'm calling from Amendas.
Wonderful. And you are watching on ABS?
That's right. That's right.
And how does it look like? Is the quality good enough, clean enough?
Very good, very clean. Very good and clean. Quality is superb.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Master.
Thank you. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, I want to make 2 points. 2 points. The
First is to Amazon. You heard the bishop saying that Amazonians, saying the bishop was lashing out at some Amazonians who are complacent to what we are going through. There are many of them actually. Some Amazonians are so indifferent, so insensitive to this thing that I just wonder what is wrong with them. I just wonder what is wrong with them. Because if Amazonians were unanimous, if Ambazonians were perceptive of what these Fangos have been doing to us, I tell you the truth, no, everybody will be resolved to send these people away. But they organize something, that nonsense called trade fair, Amazonians are going there. Ethiopia wins some nonsense that way. Amazonians are congratulating them. Not only Fangobo, Amazonians are congratulating it too. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. With all the blood, all the destruction here, Amazonians are still not sensitive. They still do not recognize that they must stand up one day so that you know that we reach Boya. Somebody told you during your last presentation that he had a vision that 2025 is the year this thing will end. I'm informing secretaries that when I heard it, I was surprised because I had the same thing 2025 because of the attitude of Amazonians. Yeah, independence will come, but 2025 unless something drastic changes. Then secondly, my message is to people like Dr. Munzo and his type, the so-called federalist unionists. Mr. Munzo, whatever you call yourself, did you ever hear this scripture? Their works shall follow them. Your works shall follow you. You people are so narrow-minded. You think that life begins and ends on this earth. No. The evil you are doing here, with so many thousands of people killed, so much injustice, so much destruction, and you are fought to stand in the way of the independence from Amazonia. Your works are waiting for you. One day you will leave this world. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
You will leave this earth. That's when you will know the gamblers that you are. That you will reap in the most terrible way this evil that you are perpetrating against a people who deserve to have their nation. And it is worse for you because you are Anglophones. I cannot call you Ambassadors. You are Anglophones. So your works will follow you. Munzo and the other tools of Lucifer against Amazonia. You are very small, narrow-minded, very stupid. Very stupid. At your age, you cannot even recognize the fact that this world is not the beginning and the end. So continue. Unfortunately, you cannot stop Amazonia. You cannot. None of you can stop Amazonia.
All right.
Demons.
All right, comrade. Thank you for the call.
Yes.
Thank you. Remain safe out there. All right. Ground Zero calling. Hello.
Yes, please. Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Yaoundé, Cameroon.
That is from the colonial territory.
Yes, please.
What is your contribution? Where are you watching? On TV?
On my television, please.
I'm sorry?
I'm watching on TV.
On TV, wonderful. So you are getting ABS there.
Yeah, Yaoundé.
Thank you. Thank you. What is your contribution?
I just wanted to talk a bit about justice. We're
Okay.
serving a God of justice. While we're praying for justice, I want to plead that we give time that God Himself would avenge with justice. Let us not carry our hands, kill people, slow blood, and then think we are fighting a just cause. I don't think that will be best.
What do you mean by that, though? I don't get you.
Because I followed Bishop Johnny Gayward talking about people will die, and their blood will be on them because they've gone to studio, would have gone to watch the football match. All these tournaments are good. If we have our legitimate fight or whatever we are fighting up.
So are you saying that it is okay for the tournament to be going on while people in Ambazonia are being slaughtered, like we see in Bamenda?
I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that we...
You said the tournament is good.
We, as people of God, we should be praying for God to...
You think God is sitting there smiling and nodding his head when people are being killed in Bamenda and they are coming to walk over their corpses to play a tournament, a mere tournament?
We know nothing is impossible with him. So if he's not...
No, we know. We know there is nothing impossible with him, but he has given us hands and legs, eyes and lips and ears for some duty. Don't you realize that?
I do. I'm just trying to like intervene. I'm a man of God. I'm a pastor like one of you.
Well, I am a pastor too, and I believe that God has given me a mind, hands, legs, brains to do something with it. Not to sit praying and praying and praying and praying till my coffin is made.
You're right, man of God, you're right. But we know that the concept of national unity is from God. God prayed and said, Father, let there be one, so that the world may know this issue of splitting and fighting for territories. Let us
No, that is a misinterpretation of what God meant by let there be one. I mean, it has nothing to do with two nations that have completely different cultures. If God was praying or God was asking that let there be one, then you would not have countries demanding independence from day number one that this earth started, isn't it? There will be no America and Great Britain. There will be I mean, all these countries that got their independence from these big nations, they will not be there, isn't it? We would be one, isn't it?
Yeah, man of God, you're right. I even think about the Tower of Babel, where God came and split the people, gave them different tongues and different languages. But let God do it.
In fact, that contradicts your quotation. Let there be one, right? Because they were trying to be one exactly when God split them.
Let us allow God then to do what He knows best how to do.
All right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate your call. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you, please.
All right. Okay, let's see who is next. Hello.
All right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate your call. You have a great day, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down the volume of your television set, please?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I am calling from Kumba.
Wonderful. And how was K-Town today?
Perfect. K-Town was calm. No fly on the street.
Wonderful. Tell me, are you watching ABS?
Yes, I'm watching ABS on my television.
All right. Wonderful. What is in your mind, sir?
I just want to react on the previous caller.
Okay.
The Bible says God help those who help themselves.
Yes, sir.
We cannot fold our hands and watch those barbaric, demonic people from La République du Cameroun come and kill us, and then we'll sit down because we are believers, we are Christians, and we say that God will fight for us. If we don't wake up and fight, God will not fight for us. So that is what the Bible says. So he should stop that, is because he lives in Yaoundé. So he should stop those that are useless, barbaric attitude in Yaoundé. Secondly, there shall be no African Nation Cup in Amazonia. That is our stance. We shall mobilize from Kumba. We will all go down to Victoria. We will see how we organize that demonic competition on our soil. There shall be no African Nations Cup in Amazonia. That is just my contribution. And then thirdly, those killers of Kommando, they shall be brought to book. The Almighty God will bring them to book. Thank you very much, man of God.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your call. You remain safe, sir. All right. Let's take one or two more calls, and we'll call it a day. Ground Zero, calling. Wonderful. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. I can barely hear you. If you can get your phone right close to your mouth, that would be better, I guess.
Yes.
Okay? We lost him. All right. Let's see who is next here. Hello.
Hello.
Can you turn down your television, the volume of your television set, please?
Yeah, it's turned down.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from South Africa.
Wonderful. Okay. What is your contribution, sir? lost that caller also. All right, let's see who is here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Hello. Abakwa, sir.
Oh,
Abakwa.
all right, quickly, what is your contribution?
Yeah, I just want to answer the guy who is calling from Yaoundé, that victim of religious fanaticism who is calling from Yaoundé.
Okay.
Yeah, who says that one shall be one. Listen, gentlemen, the church, that is why the church has become a laughing stock today. Because you people live in the clouds, you live in a world of dream. This is a practical world where light and darkness cannot mix. You cannot allow yourself to be destroyed by evident demons, like in the name of God has done what God has done what. No, Amazonia must redeem himself from these demons. Simple as that. Your opinion does not. You don't have anything to say. So I don't know whether you are saying because you are operating a church in Yaoundé where you receive tips from those criminals, but be rest assured. What have you done when tens of thousands of Amazonians have been killed, hundreds of villages ravaged? What have you done about that? What have you done? This is take home message to you. Light and darkness cannot stay. Amazonian light cannot stay with darkness, Francophones.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the contribution. All right. Yeah. Okay, I guess I am taking the last caller right now. Let me see. This is from where? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Cyprus. So good evening, Secretary.
Cyprus. Okay. Good evening, sir. Good to hear your voice.
Yes. I thank you for what you are doing, at least trying to fit Amazonia with all what enablers are trying to do, particularly people like Dr. Munzu. I think the interim government and the Amazonian people, it's time for us to extricate some of these so-called elites who are standing for, let's say, Amazonia or Anglophone. Because with people like Dr. Munzo, that is those type of people who knows the history so well and still being very dishonest. I don't think it's a time for us now to even still give them some recognition. It's just to ostracize some of them. The interim governments should go on with a list for some of these enablers so that they should never step their legs in Amazonia. If they do, the restoration forces should handle them. People like Danganji, because calling their names that they are Amazonia is like giving some credit to them that they are part of us, of which they are killing us. So the best thing is to just put a list for some of these elites and so-called those enablers who are based in their own way, so that they should know that they are no longer Amazonia. And even if we happen to succeed, they will never accept it. Because why should we be romancing with people who are enabling for us to be killed? That is academic dishonesty. People like Dr. Munzo. Dr. Munzo knows this very well. Then he's going for federation. He's trying to bring federation. When the AAC that wanted to go on with a bishop, he said they are threatening his life. He will not go in. And then now he wants to go in for a federation. See how people are. If he has taken money from France or the Republic, let him go with his money and stop calling the name of Amazonia or thinking that Amazonia will ever federate with Cameroon. We are done with Cameroon and we have gone for good. So every Amazonia is conscious. Even to the smallest Amazonia knows that we can never live the Republic any longer. So they should stop playing, and we should stop giving them that mandate. So the list should go on so that they themselves should start being conscious, and that if they step their leg in Amazonia, they know what the restoration forces will do with them. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for the call, sir. Thank you. You remain safe. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the last caller for the day. I want to thank you for tuning in. It has been a very, very long broadcast. We look forward to coming back over the week with so many things happening on Ground Zero. We'll be coming next time to talk to you about these so-called African Cup of Nations that La République is scheduling for our territory. Got a special message on that. So please listen, continue to sign up on our Facebook page, ABS TV, Facebook page, the same thing, ABS TV. On YouTube, our website is absafricatv.com. A lot of news, world news, international news on the website. Again, the website is absafricatv.com. And you can write to us also at info@absafricatv.com. info@africatv.com. I look forward to being back here very, very soon. Remain strong and stay glued to ABS. God bless you all, and good night.
Tempo, t'es une référence. Moi, je sarnio kalongo jiti.
Dans la rétrovision, Noki au sala marche arrière. Passé un anayo, to wakana e balé. Pangusande papris, to kende avant. Alita Chamala.
Kemba Kiadina Montréal. Sima au Kibukito.
Dans la rétrovision, Noki au sala marche arrière. Passé un anayo, to wakana e balé. Pangusande papris, to kende avant. Alita Chamala.
Roboti.
Nalula yo, nalinga yo, nazela yo. E uzuringa yo. Tina nini na petaje a kipergana. Na ipembula ikusani. Nalula yo, nalinga yo, nazela yo. E uzuringa yo. Tina nini na petaje a kipergana. Na ipembula ikusani. Alita Chamala. Atakoyo na mopembo tinaka basango. Na ebata masoba koleka. Na ikomote mape itonda na zuwa. Alita Chamala. Atakoyo na mopembo tinaka basango. Na ebata masoba koleka. Na ikomote mape itonda na zuwa. Alita Chamala.
Maria Capone. D'Aquin Selo, océan de sagesse.